Greetings. Let me get that music down a little bit there. Oh, you like that Angel of Death intro music? It's gonna be pretty sweet. I have no expectations of me being able to defeat that boss on release, but it's got some badass music.
What we're going to do, I believe there is no limit of the people in there, so
Correct.
we just do a big
yeah,
mass,
just go in a mass
hunt of it.
Yeah.
We all go in there, just hunt it down.
Get the kill.
All I want is the
limit.
Oh yes,
there is a limit. You'll find out in the TLDW. There is a limit.
All right, good to know. So it can't just be like 800.
No.
Hey,
That's
Adam
not
Bell.
Cowboy
How you
King.
doing, Em? I do remember you. Alright, so let's see here. So we're in the pre-show, if you didn't notice, the scrolly scrolls. We're building the show notes, and then we're going to have a show. It's going to be good stuff, and I'm going to try to stay in front of my microphone instead of being next to it the entire show. I kind of want to adjust this microphone so it's pointed a little more diagonal so I can see my main monitor a little bit better. Anyway, enough behind-the-scenes stuff.
I know your feeling now. I know exactly what you're feeling now.
You have a big ass thing in front of your face as you're trying to. That's how I try to do any video.
Yeah, and a microphone as well.
So you know what my wife feels like then.
Oh god.
Oh, I had to go there.
We're off.
It's pre-show. It's pre-show. We can do that.
Oh, I didn't realize you're just making the rules now, huh? we can be misogynistic as we want in the pre-show. Just don't do it on the actual show.
That's it.
Oh, Mother's account got banned for botting. Nah, unfortunately, that one's gone for good. There was no Google crawl of it, which I would love to have, but unfortunately.
Who was that?
There was a thread in the. Let me just make sure this music doesn't repeat itself. There was a thread from a couple of days. We tried to do it on the Elite show because it sounded amazing, and it was a thread called I think it was like My Mother's Account, and the entire thread was about how his mother's account got banned for botting, and of course, you know. Literal text version of gold, but
Yeah.
sadly, it was taken down before Google had a chance to crawl it and save a copy. So it unfortunately is just
I'll tell you what,
into the ether.
Tufty Power is so quick. I will have in the show later on. I've put a proposal up that I stuck just in general because I figured, you know, I'm not sort of sitting there to the mods. Hey, do this. It was just a general discussion. Shane said, "Can you link me to it?" I just typed it on. I sent the link to him. He went across, couldn't get into it. Literally 30 seconds.
Oh god!
And he'd locked it. Oh well, I thought he'd locked it. I thought, stuff that. I'm not even going to bother going into it. It was actually moved to current game updates or something like that. Existing game, a forum I'd never ever been to, but I think it's had about 3 views in there. We put it on Reddit.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I've got a lot more on
He
Reddit.
basically put it there, not intentionally, but he sent it there to die. Like, I don't think that was his intention. His intention was like, he's like a freaking robot, must order posts, and he like doesn't realize that what he's done is basically given your idea a death sentence by doing that, because no one goes to that forum. No one goes to the freaking forums in general, but whatever.
Yeah.
Are you making a comment in the Discord chat to our new bot that just announced that we're live on Twitch? Everyone,
I saw that the other day.
Everyone gets one. We got Magebot, we got Midnight Man 40, we got DX 2.0. Everyone gets made fun of on this show.
Oh no, that's good. I looked at it and had a laugh the other day at it, and I thought, it's back again.
For anyone who doesn't know, Midnight Man 40, Pern's original name.
Chat, how's my YouTube chat? How's my audio coming
just
through?
steamroll me.
Because I'm actually on a new microphone today.
You're gonna sit here and wait for the next minute for the responses, or should we continue?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Fine on my end,
this is
this
is really an untested microphone. I really haven't had this microphone for very long at all.
It sounded great last night, that's for sure, and it sounds good still. We were having major issues with Discord last night. It was and the day before, really. Like, it's been real bad, huh? So I'm glad that it sounds okay this morning, because I was literally like on the verge of like, are we gonna have to use Skype for tomorrow's show? Because that was like, ugh.
There's a callback,
right? And I mean, I just started paying for Discord. They have their new premium plan for like $5 a month, which literally gets you. Excuse me, I just like burped and tried not to like belch into the microphone, so I had to like stop that word. I shouldn't be drinking sparkling water before the show, but hey, YOLO. The hell was I gonna say now? totally
pay
love.
five-
Talk about what it
Yeah.
only
is.
gives
Oh, yeah.
you.
Yeah, it only gives you it only gives you just like sad thoughts that you're losing $5. Like there's no benefits to Discord Nitro really. Is they want to remain as neutral as possible. Like they want everyone to pretty much have the same features, and I respect that. But I also want to see Discord grow as a company and have less shitty servers. And it just seems ironic that I start having problems with Discord right after I start paying for Discord. Like it was fine, and then it's like now that they're getting money, they're like, all right, downgrade it, make his quality sound horrible. Like,
It's like Premier Club in reverse.
yeah, like you're not gonna get my if the quality sounds horrible, you're not gonna get my money next month. Like they should be working on making the people who are supporting it have better quality, in my opinion, or just more not better, just more stable, consistent quality. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, let's see here. What else we got going on for the? There's tons of stuff in the show topics. We just have to figure out which ones we want to put into the show notes here. Considering we do have to duck out in about 3 hours, so let's try and start the show ASAP. We already have a pretty decent lineup here.
What about that one?
Oh yes. That's important.
There we go.
Good.
Got a big one starting up the show. This is gonna be great.
Indeed. I'm gonna put up before Pyrnassius patch notes, which is like something we never do. So let's do that.
Yeah.
And then we'll break up the show with Pyrnassius patch.
Oh right, no, you're
you
taking
got
me off top billing. I'm out of here.
You get the opening and the closing of the show. What do you want?
Well, okay then. That's fair enough then.
Capsule skate?
Yeah, Sarah's gonna be
Casual
happy. She gets twice as much Pern today.
Double your pern.
OSRS raids. Oh, that's OSR. Let me put these down near the bottom.
Yeah, Pern knew where I was going with that one, didn't you, Pern?
If we ever get an OSRS person on, do those. My old school RuneScape character is going swimmingly, and by swimmingly I mean I've been doing a lot of fishing. Let's see here.
That's all I've been doing. I bought a year's membership because it was down so cheap. I thought I might as well just grab it. So I bought a year's membership for my Alta account as well, my Iron Man, which I want to start trying to get back in. But it's hard because they're doing so much easy stuff for old school, for Iron Man now. But I've been spending just a lot of time fishing on old school with it.
Got some hype for the Aussie accent in chat, by the way, from Nalad.
Okay.
Is
Good day,
RuneScape
mate.
Good eye, mate. Is RuneScape slowly dying? Yes, I need this thread on the show. Of course. Aren't we all slowly dying? All right, let's see here. Put that right before the other copy of Pern's patch notes. So we need to get. We don't have enough shit posts on today's show. I never thought I'd say that in my life. Let's see. Well, I guess we should. Nah, I don't know. Oh yeah, let's see. Do I have your Reddit proposal in there? I do, right? It's the arc something. Did I put it in, or did I think about putting it in? I think I thought about putting it in. All right, let me.
What I might do is I'll
today.
just duck into the round. Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
we got
Sign in.
Pern.
Where's the rounds for? I haven't logged in.
We got Pern at the
We got
beginning of the
lots
show.
and lots of Pern today.
Yeah, Pern at the beginning of the show, Pern in the middle of the show, Pern at the end of the show. Pern, you should just read all the topics too.
People are going to be perned out by the end of it.
You're going to need a cigarette after it.
Why is it manifold? All right, we'll stick it right in right there.
Rants. There we are. This is what I want. Oh, here's a good one. No pet. Let's have a look at this. Approaching 120. Still no. Oh, okay. That's boring.
Oh.
I'm salty. Okay. I love the name. Give me KFC. I wish RS2 ran as smooth as RS3, but without all the weird gameplay. I wonder if Jagged Sweat Banky Time, would they stayed on the same or kept RS like 07-ish? Yeah, I'm salty because I made an OS account and thought you had to make a new account. I didn't know I could use my previous thing. So he's complaining because RS2 or old school doesn't look as good as RS3. Let's change it like they're doing everything else in RS3. What do you think about their new drop all mechanic? You know, talk about easy escape.
You know what? I do have thoughts about that. I do have thoughts about that. I think it's kind of funny, and I'll tell you why in a second.
We're cop and abuse over here, getting called easy escape all the time. Yet they're just getting easier and easier, and probably more easier over there than we have it over here on a lot of things.
What I like about it, so first, auto hockey finally banned. Should be banned. Should have been banned from the start.
Yeah.
Second of all,
Yeah.
I find it ironic that first of all, the click, like control click to drop something, sounds like a great idea in theory. They can have that if they want. I just think it's funny that they call us Easy Escape and then do that. And then the third choice from that poll that they put on the RuneScape 3 Reddit, from the old school Reddit, which I believe is actually a poll from a friends community. They're even talking about possibly going back to the old method of, when your inventory is full, it just drops on the ground like RuneScape Classic. And I just want to remind everyone, if you think about it now, RuneScape Classic, the true most AFK game right there, because stuff would just drop on the ground and you just keep going. Like, we have nothing in game that does that to that standards, and especially in old school RuneScape. Like, that is the ultimate AFK. And to think that that comes from RuneScape Classic, I think is funny, because that's supposed to be like the hardcore version of the game. So I think that's a little silly that it holds the actual oldest like AFK style, and people are considering bringing it back. And going back in time, it's basically what you're doing mechanically wise. Then you come in RuneScape Classic is actually more AFK than it currently is in 07scape, which I don't know. It all just my freaking head is just exploding over the thought of it. All right, I think we're good on show topics. If you can find any rants, that's cool.
No, they're all boring.
All right, then we can pretty much get the show on the road here. I think. Let me just. Oh, I forgot to get a Magebit code. So let me just do that real quick, and then we can start the show.
You mentioned a friend. I just want to mention that Shantae, who likes to take the piss out of a friend in a lot of songs, released a new one earlier on in the week called Fifth Hop.
Okay.
Which is the parody of Thrift Shop, which is absolutely clever. It's piss funny, absolutely.
Oh, is that the guy who takes like clips of a friend and like turns them into songs?
Yes.
Can I just ask, who's Mott Stew?
Who?
Who's what?
Mott Stew.
Mott? Is that what I?
Emma.
He's the owner of Mott's Applesauce.
I'm being a dick to you.
To be fair, all I do is copy and paste.
That's right. So that'd have to come from DX, I'd say.
Not that I'm apparently reading anything I'm copy and pasting, but whatever. Let me see here. Okay, did that get into the... Okay, that's the actual show notes. I wanted to make sure that was in the actual show notes. Let me generate a Magebit code here. Let's do a roll call so everyone, so now lads knew so they can figure out who's who. That's DX. I'm Magebit.
And I am Pyrnassius.
Hope that helps you out there. Yeah, I know that can get confusing. Anytime you're listening to a new show and it's been audio only, it can take a little bit to figure out whose voice is who.
I'm the sexy one on the show. Just remember that.
Oh yeah.
Burns bringing sexy back. Yep.
That was a Magebit.
Actually, I'm doing another how I did my Christmas night before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Rewrite. I'm doing one to Gilligan's Island for the Uncharted Island.
Nice.
Half written. It's really hard to try and get everything in because I want to get it as close as possible. But I'm having a lot of fun doing that at the moment.
That's pretty cool.
If it wasn't for music from Pyrnassius, the ratings would be lost. The ratings would be lost.
Actually, I might send it to DX to sing because he's got the singing voice.
And I'm the one that's actually released a whole bunch of RuneScape parodies as well. So
that's it.
Alrighty. Let's see. I think we're pretty much ready to get the show started.
All right.
Let me close that out. All the topics are in order. I'm going to go ahead and quickly transfer these over to the YouTube chat for people watching on the YouTube side of things. You'll be able to follow along with us if you'd like.
Why does in the in Discord does it only bring up a Twitch chat or Twitch link?
That is a that robot, and let me just delete that out of that chat. I have to reprogram that to not do that in the general room. It should be doing that in announcements, but that's just a standard that I haven't properly set up yet.
Okay.
But it doesn't show Twitch chat because it's incapable. It doesn't show YouTube because it's incapable. Twitch has the API, YouTube doesn't. So
okay,
it just blame YouTube for having
the link, and I'll go
shitty.
Bloody can't see it again, so I've got to actually log in and go to it that way. Mute, pop out chat. switch to night mode because it looks better.
All right, and I'm going to minimize all this nonsense, get the correct music queued up, and then we can get this show on the road. Stand by.
You want me to give you the time index?
Yeah, one moment. Let me load this song up here and try to remember.
Who said load?
I'm so bad at remember. It's too early in the morning for me. DX, if you would like to pay me 20 minutes, that would be fantastic. And I will go ahead and get this up here. So short pre-show, NBD. Let me just I forgot to get a ticker going, so we'll just quickly. I should have enough time. I gave myself, I think, enough time to make a ticker. Alright, patch notes. Next Angel of Death and Passion projects. Mod Stew's Tap project. And more. We'll end that right there. And more. Plenty of more random garbage that we will have fun talking about as well. Alright, don't wanna make the ticker overwhelmingly long.
I desperately need a new bloody chair. This one squeaks to high bloody heaven.
Oh, I know, I hear you. My chair sucks too. One rune coin short of being able to buy the Harambe Pet Elite. That's horrible.
Oh.
My Harambe Pet is currently on his adolescent growth stage at the moment.
Did you buy one?
I did. I'm also pressing Alt-R fervently, which is supposed to switch over to RuneScape to show off my pet. But XSplit's frozen, so, it may crash.
Shit.
I have no control over it. Let me know if you can hear me, chat, because I have no control over XSplit right now. Press the hotkey, now it won't do anything. Completely frozen. I can't do. I've had horrible problems with XSplit today. It was bad this morning, and it's still bad apparently. Do I crash the program? What do I do? Is it saying I'm live again? So there is something. All right, I'm crashing XSplit then. Stand by. Quality show today. I'm happy about this. Alright, let me see if we should hopefully. Yeah, that's gonna make my editing time so much longer now. Thanks so much, XSplit. Really do appreciate quality fucking product from freaking Split Media Labs. For fuck's sake. Let me know if people can hear me on the live end. And we can resume the show. You could be assured this is the last. I mean, our XSplit license ends in February. You can be assured I'm not renewing. I'm very disappointed in the quality of this product. Can anyone hear me on the live end? Let me know as soon as you can hear this, and I will resume. Let me see if
I can hear you.
Sarah says you're cutting out a bit, but can you hear you fine?
All I want to know is if I'm live or not. That's okay. All right. Hopefully we're back. I hate everything, but we'll continue on. Where the hell was I? I was getting music loaded up, which I did, and it looks like we're going to begin the show. DX, you'll notice I put those quest numbers under PSA, so you can read those as well, if you'd like.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, cool. We're going to begin in, what's today, the 27th? 27th, let me quick. Gotta have the dates right, or I'll Ron Burgundy the shit out of it. Okay.
Ron Burgundy. I've never seen the Anchorman, to be honest.
Oh, it's so good. It's 2, not so much, but still worth watching if you were a fan of 1. All right, let's do this. In 3, 2, 1. You're listening to RuneScape Weekly for 1/27/2016. I'm your host, Magebit, with 15 years of RuneScape experience. Joining me today is Pyrnassius and Dxthelb, and on today's show, CEO leaves Jagex. Pyrnassius' patch notes for the 23rd of January. TLDW, next, Angel of Death and Passion projects. Mod Stew's Tap project. RuneScape focus groups. Why isn't Menafal's quest locked? Pern's Arc proposal. Is RuneScape slowly dying? And if we have time, more patch notes from Pern. Thank you for tuning into this edition of RuneScape Weekly, and enjoy the show. Welcome back for your Friday edition of RuneScape Weekly. Off to a bumpy start there. Our XSplit just crapped the bed on us. Hopefully we're okay now. Things seem to be alright, so we're going to continue the show as normal. But I'm getting a little fed up with Excellent. That's a faux show. Anyway, we got a good show for you today. We got DX joining us. How you doing, DX?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm testing out a new microphone. I hope it works pretty good for the show.
Oh, yeah, it sounds pretty good. Hopefully we can, hopefully we'll be able to keep up our quality on Discord. We've been having...
how bad was it the other day?
I know. Hopefully that doesn't crap out on us midway. But we also got Pern joining us today. How are you doing, Pern?
I am very good, thank you. Back at work full time and starting to get used to it now. So I'm actually awake today. It was a struggle last couple of weeks trying to keep awake, but
yeah,
sort of Wednesday's show, I'm sitting there going, "Oh, come on, Mage!" I was just getting so tired. When you said, "Yeah, I don't feel like, I don't think I'll be able to do a show," so I'm going, "Yep, Judy, I'm off to bed."
Oh yeah, this Wednesday was rough for me, but I'm glad to be here today. It's just I don't know. Well, yeah, I gotta rethink the Wednesday show lineup and possibly move it to Thursday or something. We'll see. Yeah, I didn't like doing Thursday shows as much because then you do Thursday and then a Friday, but like Wednesday, it's a hard day for me. Anyway, we don't got to
talk. A Tuesday show.
Yeah, well, we had
Tuesday is tough because we wanted to. Yeah. Although now that they're dropping the Q&A on Tuesdays sort of each week, it might be something we can.
Yeah, we might move the Wednesday show to Tuesday. I didn't know if anyone was available on Tuesday. We can talk about this not on the show. So welcome to Behind the Scenes Weekly.
At the time.
We got a great show for you today, including some PSAs. DX, would you like to take it away with the PSAs?
Okay, the minigame spotlight is currently on Pest Control. The Circus is currently located in Al Kharid, and this was from a few weeks ago, which we never quite wrote out. The most completed quests from 2016. In third spot was Call of the Ancestors, which is the Gobi quest. 75,776 people completed it. In second place was Diamond in the Rough. That's one of the parts of the Zen double feature, which was 86,336. And the most completed quest in 2016 is Buyers and Sellers. 91,658. Now, the Buying and Sellers quest is a part of the Thieving Guild in Lumbridge.
Yes. That is one of the newer quests. When I say newer, I mean probably within the last 5 years, as far as being a noob quest, right? Like, it was introduced, I think, alongside, I don't know if it was alongside, but in the same vein as Ashdale to kind of add to a new player area and give them a kind of a feel for the game. It's a decent quest. I think it's one of the few that is voice acted in the game.
I was surprised that Call of the Ancestors was the third most completed quest.
Well, I wanted to point that one out to any Jagex mods who are listening. That was your bottle quest that we're going to get. Oh, we're going to do all these bottle quests, and that was the only one we got. It is the third most completed. People want bottle quests.
It's funny.
Do more.
It's funny you say that because when I was thinking Call of the Ancestors, I'm like, I can't put a quest to that name. And that's exactly why, is because it got swept under the rug. I've done the quest for sure, but holy crap, I forgot how good that quest was. Yeah, that
was a fun quest. I want to see some good bottle quests on the Ark.
How funny was the pickaxe to the Gobi's head? That was fantastic.
Yeah,
that was cruel.
Right.
There's a lot of good ones on there.
Yeah, right. So, we have some very important news coming from directly from Jagex HQ and from...
this come in today, too. This came in this morning.
Yeah, this is from Mod Pips directly. This post is called Jagex Leadership Changes. And it says here, "Hi everyone, I'm delighted to announce that I will be taking on the role of Chief Operating Officer, so COO. A little bit different than CEO, but he's still a chief, and that's still that executive role. But operating officer is a little more lax than executive officer. So that's really a good thing for Mod Pips overall, being he's coming from the production line, if you will. Not that he hasn't been a manager for many years. Hey James, this is a community-run podcast. We have had many Jagex staff on the show in the past, which you can find in our archives. But we are community-driven. Anyway, let me see here. Where was I? So it's so it says this is posted directly from Mod Pips, and let's see exactly what he has to say about these changes. So he says, "Hey everyone, I'm delighted to announce that I will be taking part in the role of Chief Operating Officer and acting as Chief Executive Officer for Jagex. You may know me from my previous roles as RuneScape's executive producer and more recently as VP of Studios at Jagex, where I've been responsible for overseeing RuneScape, Old School RuneScape, and our other titles. At Jagex, we're driven by a passion for creativity, making great games, and serving you guys in this huge community. Our YouTube chat just died over here, sorry. We're going to continue to focus on supporting our current live titles and make them even stronger, and to further explore the potential of more experiences within the RuneScape universe. Prone, could you pick up the next paragraph here while I fix this?
Sure. This is an incredibly exciting time for Jagex and the RuneScape world. The arrival of RuneScape expansions this year marks a significant change in how the game evolves. We're already hard at work on the first of those expansions, the Golden City of Menaphos, which arrives this summer. We can't wait to share it with you. Plus, stay tuned for all of our future expansions too. Over in Old School RuneScape...
You can finish it, go ahead.
Yeah. Over on Old School RuneScape, we're seeing huge growth of the community thanks to the continued player-driven game development and the explosion onto the competitive gaming scene with Deadman tournaments. Our recent release of the Chambers of Xeric has seen players take on a whole new challenge, and we're looking forward to building on our successes. This growth is a testament to our increased support for Old School RuneScape. As a player myself, I know how important it is for a company like ours to listen and respect its players, and believe that the close ties with the community has been why RuneScape and Old School RuneScape endure and grow. We'll continue to work closely with you through our ideas, successes, missteps, game updates, hotfixes, and all. See you in Gillinor, Mod Pips.
I like the question that was brought up there as far as why did Rod Cousins leave. My main guess would be because he's done what a CEO can do. He raised the value of the company in 2 years, and he sold it to another, investing firm. His job is done there. That's what he does. He goes in, makes businesses profitable, sells them, and moves on. So I assume that's probably why he left. Because I remember they were going to bring Mod Pips in a while ago, and then Rod came out of nowhere and was like, I'm coming in. And they were like, yes, master, please. And
that's what I was going to say. I heard that Pips was going to take over, like when Gerhard left.
Yeah.
And I just assumed that's what had happened. And then I read when I was listening, did you get this post from like 2 years ago? And but no, that's it is a new one. So
So originally he was, and then Rod came in because obviously they're going to take somebody with the crazy experience over somebody who maybe their first chief position,
and especially since the dramas that it did have with the failure of Transformers Universe and all that type of stuff that they had. It would have been a pretty hard time to come in and sort of have to try and lift the company back into the black, which
Well, the elite says if only he could make Chronic profitable. He's not a god, man. He can't do the impossible. But
I really think if Chronicle fails, it is time for Jagex just to say enough is enough, and we just simply concentrate on getting as much out of RuneScape as possible.
But what if
put the team on and
all right? So if Chronicle fails, but Idle Adventures is a success, what do you say to that though? How do you handle that situation?
It's going to be a success.
No, Idle Adventures I don't mind so much because they're not really the full developer of it. They're licensing off off the third party who's that's the one. They're sort of the builders of that type of game and such. So if they're getting money out of it, good. But you're not wasting a whole lot of development team. I remember a few I think I wasn't on for the show. You and Harley and I think it was DX were. Oh no, it was. I might have been DX. I can't remember. Anyway, cut a long story short, you were talking about the cutbacks on all the staff between 2015 and 2016 when they'd released reports there and saying, they've lost a third of their people and this and that. One thing, but they'd made more money. One thing that you hadn't actually brought up was of that development team. Yes, they lost 1/3 of it, but how many of those were actually released because they were the ones who were working on Transformers Universe, which sort of
that's valid. Yeah. At the time, there were no use for those other developers. Those other developers were all C developers, and they had nothing to code C in. Aren't they kicking themselves in the ass now with the new NXT client?
They did have the option when Transformers Universe was shut down. They did have the option of moving back into the main RuneScape area. They chose not to. They chose to go somewhere else.
Fair enough. I mean, I may have not blamed them. It's not wanting to work with, I mean, being used to working with C# and C++ and having to go and work in RuneScript, I probably would go somewhere else too if I wasn't madly in love with Jagex as a company.
You mean like Lightseeker?
If I was just a mere programmer and I was like, I have to program in this versus this, I'm going to choose, C++ or C# over, RuneScript that's like loosely based off of Java.
Try to say that 10 times real quick.
Which one? Say what? My entire sentence or a specific phrase?
Was it?
This is how you just confuse them.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Yeah. How's the weather out there, mate? Anyway.
All right. So where are we here? We as Mod Pips being the leader, I don't know enough about him, but I do like the fact that he has been a frontward facing character, where Cousins took a very kind of like, pull the strings from the shadows type of role, and I don't appreciate that. But I understand that a CEO's job is generally very far removed from the, production line, if you will, and the front lines where, where we're seeing these live streams and whatnot. But the fact that he literally, going from the previous CEO, Gerhard, who is borderline a narcissist, if not definitely a narcissist. He's definitely a narcissist. He would probably even admit the one illness that no one who isn't can't admit that they aren't. Like, if you are a narcissist, you have to admit to it, because that is the pure definition of narcissism. So I think he's a narcissist. But that being said, that's neither here nor there. It's just coming from someone who enjoyed the limelight so much to somebody who basically just wanted to hide in the shadows. The difference, maybe not like Rod, despite that he did nothing wrong for the company. I didn't like his lack of transparency. And I just also think it's ironic that we're just moving forward asking for less transparency overall from the company. It just blows my mind to watch us willingly walk backwards. Go ahead.
I don't think we're asking for less transparency. I loved the entirety of January, all these surprise updates. Just getting on the Monday and say, what's coming now? And just that excitement again. Whereas before, we watched the Friday BTS. Oh, yeah, no worries. This is what we're expecting. There was none of that sort of anticipation that you're sort of feeling now. And it's, great, and just going off and exploring, because they've shown you everything on the Tuesdays behind the scenes. They've introduced exactly what's coming in, on their BTS video on Friday. I really think what they've done this way is fantastic. Transparency in the company itself and in major developments, I think, we'll still see that, and I think we still want to have that. But these little updates, they're not giving us everything.
I have an idea.
I have really loved
Remember how successful Rune Labs was? I have an idea. So we build on that.
How successful it was to Zeno.
We build on that success, and instead we make Rune Labs an actual department and a completely player-run department. That's what Mod Pips should do. His first act as the new CEO. He should create the Rune Laboratories, where he just literally takes players from the game, flies them out to Jagex HQ, sticks them in a room, gives them a lab coat just because, and they just literally make content for Jagex. They don't know what they're doing. They have to program it themselves too. No help. It's just, and then bam, that's what we need in 2017.
I know the reason why you'd want to wear the lab coat, because Mod Luna wore
the lab coat is the only thing that's giving you plus 10 intelligence to code. You have to wear the lab.
I mean, that lab coat when you do the thoughts on them.
As for the reason why Rod Cousins left, I think the reason why he left is because he wanted to change Jagex to Jagex Masters, or what do you call it? Jagex Masters. Yeah, he wanted to change it from Code Masters to Jagex Masters. And
definitely.
they said no, so he pissed off then.
Definitely.
Anyway.
What's Sarah saying? Keep us active on our toes. I'm enjoying the surprise. However, the Reaper for Trim, they could have just said something before, stuff like that. Like, I like surprises too, but when they cut things like the Q&A, it makes my job harder as a reporter. Like, to bring news on a multi-weekly basis, 2 to 3 times a week, I rely on them to release things to talk about.
Whereas before we talked about it before it come out, now we can talk about it after it's come out with experience on it as well.
Now it's just going to be a bunch of wild speculations on weeks that they don't tell us anything. I'm just going to be like, well, nothing new this week, but I heard that it's possible that Jagex is building the Death Star. Can you tell us more about that, Pern? That's what the show's going to turn into. It's going to turn into a freaking tabloid show because I'll have nothing else to talk about, lest we go back to only once a week. Anyway.
We're going to go back to Tuskers back and call it The Last Escaper.
We'll still have plenty to talk
Here are some pictures of Mod Mark in an actual drive-thru at McDonald's. What will he do?
Oh
my God.
We have our Monday updates and we have our Thursday updates. We still have those, don't forget.
I guess it's just not. There's not always a Monday update. You have to keep that into consideration. It's like
but I mean, there's always something small, or there's a if they don't the big patch notes. I mean, there's always something good to talk about. But I thought I'd get a bite off DX with those Thursday updates then, but he didn't say anything.
So that's the thing. Is like, what's the? It's like, welcome to RuneScape Weekly. Here's Pern's patch notes. Okay, see you later, everybody. It's gonna be the Wednesday show. Anyway, hopefully Mod Pips, enough fear mongering. Hopefully Mod Pips does the right thing for Jagex. I think he will. He sounds like he knows what he's doing. Obviously, Jagex isn't just gonna pick. Jagex isn't just gonna pick one of their own that has no formal executive training and be like, "Lol, good luck here, run this multi-million-pound company." No. I'm sure Mod Pips is well suited for the role, and why not hire one of your own, somebody who's been there for a long time, knows the company, knows what's best. I think that's a great decision.
And has a passion for the company.
Exactly. Passion, in my opinion, can sometimes be more important than experience. Anyway. So that's that. Want to do some Pern's patch notes? We can do some Pern's patch notes if you like. These are, let me quickly get this on screen here. Totally unprepared for this. My apologies. It's been a long week, I have to say.
Long morning as well.
Get this up here. Pop. All right, let's get some Pern's patch. These are this week's patch notes, by the way, the 23rd of January. So stand by. Here we go.
G'day everyone, Pyrnassius back again with your news and game updates for the 23rd of January 2017. And no video running alongside this one because it's pretty much a patch note update with just a couple of other little extras in there. So let's get straight on into it. Basically we're going to see some new rewards for Soul Reaper, legendary pets, gorillas and armor. So first up is the Soul Reaper rewards. Death has cast his desolate gaze over the Soul Reaper rewards, and the last thing we'd want to do is disappoint him. Taking on board ideas from Redditor Faudraco, Mod Ryan and Mod Days have filled out the list with some sweet new unlocks. Among these is a brand new Book of Death, a pocket slot item that grants combat stats, and a small chance to insta-kill your enemies, or to do an extra chunk of damage to bosses. As well as the unlock at Death Stores, it requires 80 crafting to make and is untradeable. So the full list of the new rewards are 1. The Book of Death. 500 Reaper points will permanently unlock the ability to craft the Book of Death. 2 is Death Notes, which will cost 40 Reaper points. Materials used to craft the Book of Death. Reaper's Choice will cost 250 Reaper points. It's a passive ability, 1 in 10 chance that you may choose your task on assignment. The Gravestone Loot Beam, 75 Reaper points or 750 Slayer points. See your loot drops in a macabre light. The Reaper Scroll, which will cost 250 Reaper points. It's a consumable. It will give 50% extra XP for a Soul Reaper task. And Death Support, 250 Reaper points, also a passive ability, doubles the health regained from Sign and Portents of Life. There are also 2 new cosmetic rewards that unlock automatically on completing a set number of Soul Reaper assignments. Note that these are unlocked retroactively, so Seasoned Reapers can get these right away. Death's Scythe. 100 assignments, a two-handed weapon override, tiny death pet after 200 assignments, less statuesque than his namesake, but cuter. We've also rebalanced the pricing of auras, refreshers that deaths deal unlock to better reflect their usage, and a big thanks go out to mods Harrison and Wolf, who chipped in to help Ryan and Days with the testing and design. So gear up and make a beeline for a boss. Soul Reaper just got more rewarding. Moving on, and Harambe has arrived. Solomon's Store, the Shadow Gorilla Pet and Cosmetic Armor. The shelves of Solomon's Store are creaking under the weight of some truly mighty stock. First up is the new legendary pet, the Jungle Gorilla's just the sidekick you need for a jaunt to Gillenor's farthest reaches. For a limited time, there's also the ability to buy a shadow variant of the pet named Titus in our community competition. Also, for a limited time, those who buy 2400 rune coin packages will get the Shadow Gorilla Armor set. These are perfect for every delver into the Dark Dungeons. Get it while you can, and they do look pretty awesome. I do like that. I do like that Shadow Gorilla Armor set, but 2400 rune coins probably a little overpriced in my mind. But you know, get out there and get it if you really want it. Live streams this week on Tuesday, January 24th at 5 PM game time. Next, Angel of Death and Passion projects. The next few weeks will see a glut of smaller, interesting projects that our developers have invested their time into creating, starting with next, Angel of Death, out next week. This will culminate in an epic Game Jam weekend, which we'll be streaming for your viewing pleasure over February 18th and 19th. So we'll be on the sofas discussing next, as well as the concept of passion projects and why we think they're perfect addition to the RuneScape content calendar. If you want any questions asked, use the hashtag RSQA hashtag on Twitter, head to the forums or Reddit to post. Also on Friday, January 27th at 9 PM game time, community time with Mod Shawnee. Mod Shawnee will be back and showcasing some of the updates you've got to look forward to next week, as well as going through some of the Soul Reaper updates. And on Sunday, January 29th at 7 PM game time, PVM with Mod Lee happens again. So let's roll over now to the patch notes. And as always, should you encounter a gameplay bug or graphical glitch in game, submit a bug report. So first up, let's look at the graphical. The Super Disco outfit can now be recolored while keepsaked. Players are now able to rest with the zombie or conga walk animations active. A blocking issue with a crate on Cyclosis has been fixed. Treasure chests on Uncharted Isles now consistently use the correct open model for their type, and all remaining 15-year anniversary decorations have been removed. Onto skills, D&Ds and minigames. The colour of the doubloons message has been changed, and the box that appears when adding them to the currency pouch has been removed. Players will no longer be assigned the Queen Black Dragon from death without 60 summoning. Players will no longer have the Fenrir broadcast upon his arrival if they have claimed the XP from his tooth. Messages when players gain memory strands has been filtered. The message when the Guthixian cache buff replaces the double loot effect due to Memorial to Guthix perk has been filtered. It is no longer possible to place a Jeweler's Cape or a Wild Stalker helmet commemorative statue near a portal skilling location. Teleporting Wobbegongs to the bank via a sign of porter will now correctly contribute toward the total count, which can be seen via QuickChat. And runes will now correctly be taken from a large rune pouch while manufacturing invention items. Into other patches. A quick chat option has been added which states whether a player completed the pre-Yakamara puzzle section in a raid. The Berserker Aura effect can no longer stack with multiple activations. Concentrated Blast, Fury and Needle Strike are now buffed, while Sonic Wave is slightly nerfed. See ModPie's post for more details. That's probably a good one. I don't like the Sonic Wave. I did like that one, but anyway, obviously it was a little bit overpowered compared to the others. Anyway, moving on. Statius Warhammer now drains 5 times less divine charge per special attack, making it last for around 1,000 special attacks. After achieving the Voyager title by completing the Arc Journal, Uncharted Isle treasure chests are marked on the minimap with an icon. Golden Bamboo and Wobbegongs now have a progress bar similar to Ancestral Energy and Mushroom Clusters. Filtered messages have been added for Uncharted Isles rare resources at different stages of depletion. Turtle traps can now be placed over the tile occupied by the Hunter icon on Uncharted Isles ornate turtle spots. A message has been added for players who have had intercept cast on them. 2 new buff icons have been added for intercept, one for the caster and one for the player receiving the spell. Legendary pets can no longer automatically pick up the Hellfire Bow. The Talent Scout will no longer speak to players who have the Hellfire Bow. Players can once again craft Chaotic Claws by using Chaotic Spikes on Dragon Claws. The teleport check on the Juju Teleport Spirit Bag have been adjusted, ensuring that it is only consumed upon successfully teleporting. A spelling error in the tooltip for the Ethereal Skilling outfit has been corrected. A typo in the Diary of Jebediah Omnis has been fixed. And just if anyone doesn't know, I did finally complete that, got all of them. I think it was about 1,500 kills on Ripper Demons to get the last 2 books. It was funny. I'd gone about 1,150 kills dry, and then got a Slayer task for 61, and got both books in that task. So anyway, just a little bit of a thing there for you. But let's move on. The message that informs players if they cannot use a Grand Seed Pod on Anniversary Island has been updated, and the right-click to open interface loot option now works consistently. We had a few hotfixes last week. Monkey barrels were disabled as they were causing a client crash in NXT. The grouping system changes launched in Monday's game update were reverted. Skull spawning script was tweaked to ensure that he would consistently spawn. Monkey barrels were re-enabled. Gaining XP when harvesting from the Wilderness Herb Patch without a demonic skull was enabled. And onto our ninja fixes. Players may now quick chat their current Soul Reaper assignment. Players collecting only 1 item from the Grand Exchange with the Collect All feature will now have it given to them unnoted. Chartering a ship will now place players directly on the dock. A dual arena clue scroll has been repositioned to no longer require entering the arena. Walk and resting overrides are now hidden within the PvP areas. Players may now right-click the pirate message during Pirate's Treasure to dig, and the volume of the Drake and Shadow Drake wings sound has been reduced. And just before we wrap up this video, I just want to point everyone over to Reddit if I could. I did put a post on there, an Arc region proposal. I won't read it all out to you. Head over there and have a read if you are interested in it. I did actually get a mod response from it who say that they are actually working on some more Arc region stuff. But if you are interested, head over there. My Reddit name is Pern. The title of it is just called an Arc region proposal. Anyway, I'm going to wrap that up there. I hope you all enjoyed it. Happy RuneScaping. We will see you all next week. Hopefully we'll have a bit more in the updates and I can run some video, but if not, it has been great. I mean, we've been getting some nice little hidden updates in the last few weeks, so get out there, get that Harambe pet if you so desire, but it is fairly expensive, but hey, it might be worth it. And that gorilla outfit does, the gorilla armor does look great. But in the meantime, happy RuneScaping. I'll see you all next week.
All right. Another lovely Pern's Patch Notes video for you right there. So
What a shameless plug for Pern's own bloody...
well, now, like, should we segue? Should we just segue right into that and just move that tab up instead of going into the TLDW?
I actually forgot I did put that on into that.
I mean, yeah, because that would have been a perfect segue had you remembered. Yeah. Why don't we just hop right into an ARC proposal then, and then we'll do the TLDW. Since you so nicely set it up for us there and failed to knock it down, why don't you go ahead and read your idea for us? Since
okay, so this is no, I wasn't showing allegiance to the wrong god there. It was just I was looking for a new intro, Sarah, and I went up there, did that. I did that on the Sunday, and then on Monday they released the beautiful area of the new Guthix Memorial, which I would have loved to have done instead. But anyway,
Hey, Pern, I love that frame. I love that frame rate, by the way.
yeah, Armadillo required him to sacrifice his frames in order to capture the image.
I don't know what happened there. It worked fine, and then it just when I put it across, it was like stuffed. So it's
time for a new PC, Pern.
It is. This has been playing up a lot lately, actually.
Yeah,
What's the only one that hasn't been playing up?
Listen,
it's 4.5 years
I completely understand. Mine's that's like 1.5 years old, and I had to reboot it just to get XSplit to open this morning. Like, I'm not a hack. I understand.
Yes.
We changed scenes from the overlay to RuneScape, and it crashed XSplit. Like, I'm so done with XSplit. Anyway, sorry, continue.
No, that's okay. So anyway, my proposal, which I set in, and I did actually put it on the official RuneScape forums as well, and that's what we're talking about pre-show, and it got moved within like 30 seconds of going in there. It was okay, but anyway, Reddit is obviously the way it goes, because it actually had a mod response there where it didn't get it on the official
Right.
forum. So yeah, which I really found funny. It was
sad.
it was it was
It's
like
funny in a
Tufty who
sad
moved
way.
it. Yeah,
In my
Tufty,
opinion.
who had moved it, sort of said, "Oh, I've put it there because it's more likely to be seen by a mod in this section."
Yeah,
That's
the
more likely to
sweet
never be
irony.
seen again.
So yeah, but anyway, let's read on. The Ark was a fantastic update, introduced into the game in 2 batches. While the first batch was underwhelming, Jagex did warn us that this was the foundation of the area and that the bulk of the update would be in batch 2. It took over 6 months of development time and had several balancing tweaks along the way to get it just right. And it is a beautiful area to visit with great graphics and diverse training methods, which can be used to gain chimes, the Eastern Lands currency. And this is where the problem lies. The introduction of a totally new currency separate from the main game was an interesting idea, and one supported by the majority of the player base, as it would make exploring and unlocking the area fair amongst all players. In other words, the rich couldn't just buy their way to completion. They had to work for it like the rest of us. However, this currency also marks the limitations of the Ark region. Once a player has unlocked everything, there is little to draw them back to enjoy this major update. There is very limited items that can be purchased at the Waco reward shop once everything is unlocked. Yes, you can buy supplies for ports, but these are costly, and let's be honest, it's much easier just to collect them from journeys rather than spending chimes on them. Also, there are XP lamps, but again, this isn't really worth the time it takes to earn the chimes. What I would love to see is an expansion to the reward shop. When the Mimic boss was here, it dropped 3 special scrimshaws, one of aggression, one of sacrifice, and one of corruption. I would propose that Jagex introduce these into the reward shop for chimes, allowing players who enjoy the Ark some purpose for their training and the earning of chimes. We could also see the introduction of various new scrimshaws for other areas of the game too, not just combat. Another idea would be to have the reward trader sell the player an ancient bone fragment that needs to be combined with 2 or 3 shells and perhaps a piece of driftwood from the Uncharted Isles. Wouldn't it be great to be able to make a degraded dust scrimshaw that can be charged up with various berries we grow on Twilight? For example, a scrimshaw made with 3 shells, a driftwood, and stained with a juice from 10 jitterberries could give a 5% cooking XP boost, or perhaps there's a 10% chance of cooking 2 items at once, in a similar way that the Varrock armor sometimes helps smith 2 bars at once. A Musaberry scrimshaw could have a small chance of not using shards when creating a summoning pouch. A Sourberry scrimshaw could give us a chance of double loot when thieving. A Cocoberry scrimshaw the chance to save a seed when
These all
farming,
sound delicious.
or maybe give extra resources when picking from fruit trees, cactus plants, and mushroom allotments. The options are endless, and it would lend a new life to this vibrant area and give real use and meaning for having a separate economy. Perhaps these items could be made tradable if the player base demands it, although my personal preference is to see them not, so the players who want them actually train for their benefits. I would love to hear what others think about this. Please post your thoughts and ideas below, and let's see if we can gather some traction to get something done in the Ark before it just dies and withers away to become just another completionist requirement to be endured rather than enjoyed.
So, as far as right now, that's unfortunately kind of what it is, right? There's no real reason to go back unless you like the XP rates in the Uncharted Isles more so than whatever you might be doing. And if you're not skilling at all, then yeah, you're probably never going back after those completionist goals are done, if you're even a completionist.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not. Maybe you are never going because you just like the PVM and there's no real reason to go there. I, for one, enjoy the Uncharted Isles for the skilling XP rates, but you're right. There is a lot that they could do with the Uncharted Isles that they just don't, and these are some interesting ideas. These are definitely some interesting ideas. As far as the berry bushes go right now, there's no real there's no real anything that you can do with them right now, is there?
No. XP.
It's kind of a shame.
XP. It's like you pick them every 2 days, and I think you get the same XP as you do from a magic tree. But that's again, that's why I don't want to use the rune span when I decide to go for my rune crafting, I'll be doing it, just by running runes the old way, because I like to get something out of it. Yeah, I'll probably do a bit at rune crafting because, at RuneSpan, because I think that is part of the completionist requirement. You've got to unlock all the rewards there. But other than that, and that's what it seems to be. All these updates just seem to be okay. It's something we can add onto your comp requirements, but there's no real value behind them. And having something that you can keep going back, and using. And let's face it, I mean, it was a huge development time that they did take for it. They've put so much work and effort into it, and it is a fantastic area to visit. I mean, we just, I want content that has playability and use, not just good XP. There you go. See you later type.
You want it to be replayable. You want to be able to go back and be like, oh yeah, that's a great place for this, and that's a great place for that. Like, you want to be able to recall upon it later on in the game, or recommend it to somebody when they ask you what's the best to do this or that, or for my level. That's the thing is I feel like all these contents should be the best for somebody at some point in time in their adventure.
Yeah, and one other thing, I mean, I was having a chat to Thieves, who was one of our listeners, and he actually was asking about the bone collector that you've got down there, the item that picks up your bones. That's an add-on to the bone crusher.
Yeah, the upgrade.
And what he was saying is it really seems to be a bit of a waste of time because they're not noted. And I thought, well, being noted would be a bit OP. However, if you had something down there that you earned, you had to spend chimes on.
Just buy magic
and
note paper.
I'm
sorry, just buy magic note paper.
It's the same price as Dragon Bones, so it's a waste of time.
Yeah, then don't use it for Dragon Bones. Use it for Orc Bones.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly right, what you have to do. But then, what I do with those is I just take your legendary pet picks it up and your yak, and you just send it back with
winter storage
with your thing. But I mean, if you had it where you could buy an attachment for that it is degradable and gives you an hour's use where it'll pick up those type of things. I mean, this is the type of thing I really want to see them develop and push more. And if I could, I did actually have a response off Jagex Orion or Mod Orion from this. If I could just read out what he does say.
Sure.
First of all, thanks for your kind words. Despite it being a ton of work, we really enjoyed making the Arc region. Myself and Jagex Stew have recently been making a few quality of life fixes and additions for the Arc in our spare time, as you'll be able to see from patch notes today's and next week's. So there wasn't a whole lot in this week's one. So I'm looking
hopefully
forward to
next week
to see what it is. Yeah. In order to create more rewards or content for the Arc, we have to take time from other projects, which is Metaphos for me, for example. I like this idea, and we have several more ideas like it, and it could happen in the future, but not any additions. But any additions would likely be small scale. Now, again, what he was saying here, it'll take time from other projects. We've moved on to other things. This is, I think, is part of the whole problem. They keep moving on so quickly to other projects. This is why we didn't get the completion of Invention. This is why Sliskay's Endgame just seems so rushed, where it was like, okay, we haven't really got time to finish it, so just repeat the puzzle, chuck that back in there again, and get it out there. They need to be taking the time and not rushing this content and developing things properly and getting it out there, and completing it, not leaving things half done all the time.
They're good at that. There is a couple of things that I do have a question about regarding your scrimshaws. Yep. The Mercenary Scrimshaw, which has a small chance of not using shards. Now, we've got Spirit Gems, I believe. Did I do the same thing?
No, Spirit Gems save you from using your charms. So these are the actual Spirit Shards. So they're just little additional add-ons that could be used in conjunction with.
Yeah, so you could use both and then be able to save both of them. That's cool. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, and the second one I've got, the Sourberry Scrimshaw, gives you a chance at double loot when thieving. You can get double loot while thieving already if your level's high enough. Would you think a Scrimshaw would help here, or?
Well, what I'm looking is more for your in the Elven Lands, where you don't get double loot in Elven Lands.
Right.
So,
which is of course,
like that. And these are just ideas I've thrown out there. This is sort of a written on on a spur of the moment type
Okay.
thing.
Well, those
Just to-
are
just
those
throw
are the
one
two things
out
that came
there.
to my
Yeah.
mind.
No, they're good
Yeah.
questions. They're good. They're both good questions. I love these scrimshaws that are named after fruits because they sound like popsicles to me, and they they all sound like delicious. Like a mooseberry
Mate's
scrimshaw.
gonna get out of the shops now.
Sounds good. I'd have one of
I think I
those.
got some in the freezer. Hang on.
I mentioned Batch 2 is a lot like X-Files, I want to believe. Yeah.
Apparently, there is a couple of mods working on Invention Batch 2. I think it's in
shut
their
up.
spare time. And I don't know how much they are going to be bringing out, whether it's more like just a tap project. So we're going to get things like the Tinder box and those little things like that, which really are a waste of time.
I mean, no offense to Ryan. I know, like, thank you for taking your spare time to make those, but that's just, I'm sorry, not what we were promised. It has nothing to do with his, efforts to make those items.
No.
Jagex lied to us.
Good on him for giving a few little extra alternate training methods, but still, I want good trading methods. I want my sort of invention machines that we were promised.
That's why. That's all I'm holding out for at this point. I don't give a shit about new perks at this point. I want those machines. Give them to me.
That's right.
I'm gonna hurt somebody.
Could you even making just getting a machine where you can load it up with and that's what I was thinking about the other day with coal. Sorry, just to go off on another tangent. Sort of, I've had a lot of time where I'm just sort of thinking things. Where we've been complaining, what we're going to do with coal at so low level. Why couldn't we have one of the invention machines where you can load it up with all the stuff you want to break down? So you can load 1,000 U logs into it. U bows into it, and it takes 24 hours to break down 1,000 bows, but it needs a chunk of coal to run that machine.
Mm-hmm.
Just things like,
or even
that.
like you make a super concentrator, right, and it turns the coal and compresses it into like a more hardened, more valuable material. Maybe like you can upsell your coal right to the next level, if you will. You can transmute it from like 1,000 coal transmutes to like 250 of whatever the next higher level resource is with like an invention machine at level like 110. So super high invention, and you're taking this coal that you can't use. If you're 110 invention, you're probably pretty high level, so you probably don't need coal anymore, so you're taking all your coal, dumping it into this machine, and it's turning it into the next level resource. And then maybe you have another machine at 120 that turns it into the final level resource even. And, it's at a diminishing return, of course, so if you take that machine and it takes even more to produce it, so at the end, where you start with 5,000 coal, and then you get it to the very last stage, you may end up with like 50 materials in total, but at the very least you can use them now and produce those items that are going to supposedly make you money. I just fucking fixed Invention Batch 2 for Jagex. Do it.
Exactly. That's the type of things we want to see. And that's the problem, I think, is we're getting to the end of this, where we've got to get you onto that next one, so we get it out, and there's no thought into the future of what's going to happen. It's just get it out there, bang, it's done, okay, next job. And, and I'm sure the mods themselves, probably don't appreciate being rushed that quickly as well. I mean, they've got a passion project. They're doing this type of thing. They want to make sure it's the best that they can do and such. And when they're being constantly shoved from one to the other, and you got to give. I mean, these are people who create things, and people.
They are people.
Creative minds need to be able to finish what they want to do.
Yeah, you can't force creativity, for sure. Anyway, let me read Sarah's comment real quick here. Sarah says, instead of coal, you could use the cheaper divination energy from the lower levels and give the lower levels a money gain for the entire skill as a whole. I feel like divination's got pretty good value to it already, coming from somebody who's made $1 billion plus of a divination in the past 8 months. But
I also don't think lower levels should really be that much money making. The money making should come in the higher levels. You have to work to get up to those levels where you are going to make.
I do agree with Elite's comment, who says, I fully appreciate Mod Ryan's efforts, but one person's Thursday project can't replace an entire batch of content.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is for sure. For sure. Anyway, shall we get into the TLDW from the Angel of Death and Passions project, since we're just talking about Passions projects?
And I just want to say Thank you. You stroked my ego again. You did drop me from the number 1 to number 2 content this week, but then you bumped that one up to number 3. So I got second and third spot. So I'm happy.
And you're closing the
I
show
went up
too.
The there you go.
All right.
Pepe, can you stop all that, please?
Yeah, if you want to remain with the ability to chat, please do not flood the chat with hashtags. Thank you. Anyway, so let's continue on here. Next, Angel of Death and Passion projects.
Before we do get into the TLDW, how funny was that countdown when the Google thing came up on the main screen when there was about 2 and a bit minutes to go?
I wasn't present for it, but that's funny. I saw the picture you posted, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what's going on here. I know what's happening. Jagex is somehow going to integrate RuneScape into Google Chrome, so yeah, keep an eye on that.
Hey, I'd be happy with that.
Back to you.
I was just responding to Sentinel there via chat. Let me continue on here. So let's open up with real quick. They wanted to mention the amnesty periods for the Cape. So the Soul Reaper requirements apparently were an oversight. And they may start applying amnesty periods for updates outside of expansions as well. So apparently everyone just straight up lost their comp cape with that update, and that was supposedly an oversight. And
well, but in all honesty, why shouldn't they lose those capes?
Because I agree.
They haven't completed the comp.
I don't think
it's a comp cape. This is what frustrates me about the comp community is it's always complaining, oh, I've lost my comp cape because of the update. Well, do you want updates, or do you want to worry about a cape that gives you a slightly better boost than your max cape? You know, just play the content, get it done. You know, enjoy it. That's what the whole game is about. It's a living, breathing game. It's it's something that's
I think it's silly. And I mean, it's like I think it's fine to tell people in advance, hey, there's going to be this, and then even with huge updates where it's going to take you maybe a few weeks to a month, maybe even longer, and then maybe an amnesty period, then like 120 Slayer is like, whatever, I'll forgive that. But something with a Soul Reaper requirement that can probably be completed in a week or two, I feel like, yeah. If it's going to take you months, all right, fine, a little bit of an amnesty period, as long as you're working on the update. But something like this that can be done in maybe a week, 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Just you're a comp caper. You got the time. You have no life.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
If it's something that is going to take sort of 2 or 3 months to do, then yes, I agree to sort of giving them a small amnesty period. But for things as you said, like Reaper tasks, I mean, it's a new boss. Most people have it done in a day, really. Most people already have all those Slayer points to unlock.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Is anyone who's comp probably has a
it's not like they're saying
you Reaper points.
Yeah. That's right. It's not like they're saying, "Oh, you have to gain it all now. You can't use what you already have." They're allowing you to use the points that you already have. So
let's see here. Other section as well includes, says, we are aware of Melee's issue in PVM and will be discussing it. Beastmaster and Yakamara pets will be coming soon. YouTube chat will disappear from XSplit once again for the 18th time. 15-year veteran cape will be out in time for players to obtain it. Which I honestly didn't know that pay-to-play came out in February. My mind has been so warped over the past 16 years that I just couldn't remember when the start month was. I could have sworn they were saying January, and back then I was like, January sounds too soon in the year. I don't remember it starting in January. Then everyone just convinced me that it was January, and now everyone's saying it's February, which like the end of February, which makes way more sense in my brain now that Harley cleared that up for me a little while ago, and I'm like, now that makes more sense. So I just want my dang cape, but apparently that's not going to happen until like the end of February. So I'm just going to breathe, and I'm going to hope that it comes out at the end of February. Augmented items only allow for their numbers of slots due to the balance and technical reasons, so they can't have more slots, apparently. The Clue Scroll rework is still planned for the first half of the year. Looking forward to that. And reduced the cost of the Aura Refresh and Death's Deal because they were too expensive, aka no one was using them. So, cool. Shall we get into Angel of Death? So again, this is coming out on the 30th of January. It's going to require the Frozen Key and to have performed the Ancient Ceremonial. It's going to be between the difficulty of Virago Hard Mode and Yakimaru, aka I'm not capable. Location will be, the entrance is at the same place, but at the opposite side. So again, you'll have to get into Nexus area, which everyone knows is the worst thing in the world. It's annoying. I hate it. Like, it's an unnecessary step to go fight a boss. This is 2017. I just want to fight a boss. Instanced, 1 kill per instance at no cost to anyone, so you'll just redo the instance each time, which means you're going to have to run through that stupid thing each time. However, each fight is supposed to be pretty long. Go ahead, yeah, but what?
Most people who'll be doing this will be in the Max Guild anyway, so you can attune one of your portals there. And as long as you have the Shard of Zaros, you don't get attacked by anything there anyway.
Yeah, it's just annoying. That's the only. I just don't.
I know. Yeah.
It's a lot of work when every other boss is like, Max Guild portal, I'm here. Anyway.
Yeah.
So combat, again, it's going to be between 8 and 15 minutes, depending on the skill of the team, and the team size is 1 to 50 players. So 50 people is the max in an instance.
Yeah. So you know what's going to happen on, say, Monday. There's going to be like a big party of 50, just absolutely wrecking at the Angel of Death.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably how I'll get my kill for it, is join like a loot share session. We'll probably do some live streaming of it if I can find groups that will take noobs, and we'll check it out.
Well,
I need to go to the God Wars dungeon and get all my bloody frozen keys. I've only got 2 frozen key pieces. Damn it!
Yeah,
frozen keys now, when you recharge, also do 100 charge.
Yeah, charge it up
10, which is a big improvement. I like that.
Yeah, it's so annoying, though. Anyway, so 1 to 50 people, we'll probably be streaming it when it comes out. I don't know if we'll be able to defeat it, but we'll certainly stream it.
Join our clan chat. We'll do a clan run on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we'll go with a mask, but we'll also, I'm gonna keep this in source memory. I don't know what else to do to keep YouTube chat freaking from stopping on the stream. It's ridiculous. I don't know. XSplit has just gotten progressively worse the past 2 updates. So I apologize for that. Anyway, let me continue on here. So, again, stats and health don't scale with the party size, but various mechanics will adapt to the number of people in the room. I wonder if they've saved anything special for when there's like 40+ people in the room, if Next just does something crazy attack.
I also wonder, right? If a quarter of them do melee, a quarter of it do range, and a quarter of it do magic, how's it going to adapt? Because everyone's hitting them with everything straight away.
It would be interesting. I would wonder if it adapts to like the type of attacks that it uses, perhaps. Like, you know how like the KK does like the mage bomb phase, where it's super good. Like, if there's a buttload of people there, it can just clear them all out, which is pretty interesting. So I wonder if it will do something along those effects, where it has like some ability to like mass murder people. That would be interesting. Let's see here. So again, they will require multiple rolls to defeat her. And it will not be soloable on release, but if somebody does solo it within the first month, Mod Ramen has agreed to elk his blue party hat in RuneScape 3.
No, we should just raffle it off. No. You never ever should elk it.
I got a better idea. Have him disassemble. Imagine a 2 billion GP party hat and get junk out of it, man. Wouldn't you be salty?
You can't disassemble those.
That's a shame. I think originally you could, and then they changed it, or did they change it before launch? I forget. But
before launch, they were taught that because people going, "Oh, this," and they go, "No." They changed that pretty quickly.
Oh, you know what? Also, they could do. You could feed it to his pet.
Yeah, keep in mind, Mod Ramen has lied about elking his party hat before, so it's very well possible that if someone does solo it in the first month, nothing's going to happen. Anyway. Let's see here. So drop selection. So top 5 players will get drops. 2 tanks, 3 DPS, and apparently it's a nice drop table according to the text that I'm reading on screen right now. That's not a lot. We should take their word for it, I guess. The next 5 players will receive a participation drop table. So in total, 10 people can get drops from this box. They will tweak this after if needed if they decide that is too OP. So it's up for debate. But as of right now, all 10 people would get their own loot if 10 people were in the instance. So that's, I think, an interesting thing to note.
Just the ground decoration. I just want to point out just beforehand, the ground decoration for this next Angel of Death copies the same kind of deal as the Queen Black Dragon. You know, the ground area where the Queen Black Dragon is, where you're running around?
I know.
Copies that area.
Does it? Area. Is it similar? Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
So, yeah.
So let's see here. What are the rewards? So we have a lore book, of course, guaranteed on the first kill. and cosmetics. There's also a boss pet.
Sweet.
What would the lore book guarantee drop?
Yes, I only have to kill it once. Yes.
Boss pet is a 1 in 3,000 drop rate with thresholds every 1,000. 3 new prayers are the main drops, being Desolation, Malevolence, and Affliction. They're going to require a 99 prayer. They're going to be stronger versions of Turmoil, Anguish, and Torment. They're going to be overhead prayers. It's going to be dropped similar to the Codex from Raids. Tradable, but not as rare as Reprisal. And there will be no armor drops, weapons, or titles. So to all of you who called me crazy when I was like, there will be no armor or weapons, screw you all. Ow, kind of smashed my microphone when I did that. So I guess, who's the real loser here still? It's me. It's still me. Well, you want to know why? You want to know why I hit my microphone? I went to do the motion with your hands where you take both your hands and do like the gun symbol with your hands, so you're like pointing at people. There's no one here. It just adds to the emphasis in my voice, but I hit my boom arm, and then my microphone swung around and hit me in the face. So, I deserve that. Anyway. Take a shot if you're drinking. That's definitely a drinking game requirement right there. Anyway, bonus requirements will include the Reaper title for 1 kill of next Angel of Death. Final boss will be 100 kills. Insane will be the final boss plus the new pet. Master Quest Cape, of course, is just the lore book. The top 8 DPS will get it as a drop. So if you're in the top 8 DPS, you're going to get the lore book guaranteed.
So that's fine. I'll just go in with 8 people. With 7 other people.
Just join in is Angel of Death. Basically like the new raids. Getting 10 different people can be a pain. It's a lot more flexible than raids. It will be on par with the difficulty of Virago hard mode or Yakimaru. But not as hard as Yakimaru. So it's going to be a little easier than raids to an extent if you consider Yakimaru your average raid. If you're comfortable with Beastmaster, you'll probably be comfortable with Angel of Death, from my understanding here. It might be a little bit harder than that, but it scales from 1 to whatever 50 people, I guess. And her mechanics don't really scale as far as her health goes, but she will have new combat abilities depending on how many people are in there. So it's a little bit different and a little bit of the same. It's new. It's hybrid. They're trying a little bit of some things and a little bit. It sounds like they've mixed Virago mechanics kind of together in with some classic regular mode next mechanics. It's interesting. They've made it a lot more flexible than raids where it's like you have to find 10 people to get in here. No, you got 4 people, you got 5 people, you got 2 people. You can join. You can join by yourself. Are you going to survive? Probably not. But I would say a good team of 5 people could pull this off on day 1.
I wonder if the grouping system's actually going to be updated as well to actually include the Angel of Death. Jagex
resents the fact that exists in this game. I guarantee you, they don't know how to fix that nightmare system. I would love for them to. I was so excited when they were like grouping system, and now the only people who use the grouping system are lurers. That's the sad truth of reality.
What would have been good this next fight? You should have had to fight Torva, Pyrnassius, and Virtus before you got to Nex.
So you mean like a fight kiln kind of deal?
That would be insane. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you hate yourself? Why would you do that?
Because it's lore. I mean, I like that sort of that. I'd only do it once, but So my daughter's thumping on the wall.
No
there.
worries.
If anyone heard that, I'm being too loud.
Fair enough. Well, let's continue on here. Where am I?
My mind just went in the gutter.
Well,
right? Anyway.
Pull it out of the gutter and let's continue on here. Let's see. So Master Quest Cape lore book.
My daughter, mate.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, move along. Lore. So learn what Zeros was preparing to give next, but was unable to during his because of his fall. So speaking,
we know what Zeros wanted to
do. I was like, all right.
Back to the gutter.
Right back to the gutter. Next powers up the closer she is to the meditation chamber. Back in the gutter. Explore the relationship between Nex, Torva, Pyrnassius, Virtus, and Zeros. Yeah, you know what? I'm just in the gutter for that section. Thanks, DX. You dragged the entire show down with you. Congratulations.
Thank you. You're one of me now.
Oh, God. Hey, Notoriously Chilly. Let's see here. Passion projects. So again, this is all has to do with the whole Game Jam weekend coming up in
What about
February.
you
What, did I
forgot the other?
You
Did
missed
I?
other.
Sorry, other. Development time began in 2013, but didn't really start until 4 months ago. So this idea has been kicking
I just
around
want
for
to
quite
point
some
out,
time.
right?
Yeah.
They showed a what do you call it? A bit of artwork, or what do they call it?
Concept art?
Concept art.
Yeah, concept art. Yeah, that's it. I couldn't think of the bloody word then. Yeah, that concept art was released less than a year after Nex originally came out.
Yeah.
Just pointing that out.
Yeah.
It was less than a year after
which
it was released.
I think they planned on having a next hard mode basically around then. I said next hard mode. Next hard mode basically right around there. And I think the game just may not have been ready for it at that time, like mechanic wise.
No, it wasn't ready for those mechanics.
Yeah. No skilling aspects, first time announcement, nor Beast Tab learn information on release. So there will be no
we're not
learn.
gonna see any announcements that you got lit up. Actually, we'll beat in person.
I have to say it's interesting that they say no skilling aspects. That has never been something that has even been brought up when a new boss has entered into the game. But because old school RuneScape has done it, thank you old school RuneScape. People are now like, are there any skilling aspects to this boss? They're actually asking this as a question now, which is a huge step forward for us skillers. I am so happy to hear that people are discussing or like asking at least if a boss has skilling mechanics. That is a world that I want to live in, so thank you for making this into a reality. Next, we'll keep her normal model during quest cutscenes. There will be a new skybox, but the walls are really high, so we'll get out those orbs of Oculus, I guess. Anyway, there you go. That's your miscellaneous section. Any final thoughts before I move on to passion projects? I guess I should have gone that route instead. Anything anyone wants to talk about before we move on here?
I'm good.
No,
Are you ready? Are you ready for the mage rage?
It's another group boss. I mean, I must say, I don't mind the group bosses when I go with entry tank because he is absolutely awesome.
Oh, we got to get entry tank for Monday. It's the only way we're going to win.
I was going to say we need to get him. We need to get him onto the show to talk about it.
Yeah,
too,
no, he offered actually. He offered to come on the show, and I said absolutely. Except that was the Wednesday show, and then we didn't have a Wednesday show.
Okay. Yeah, because after release, get him on and talk about it.
Entry tank, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
As a fighter, he is awesome, and just the instructions he gives you are so concise, and they just you know exactly what you're doing without knowing what you're doing when he's telling you. He's really good for that. So,
all right,
enough love for Dave.
Yeah, I mean he got me my my Virago kill, and despite the fact that I didn't handle it very well, he made me feel like I did, and despite the fact that we finished the kill with no food left in my inventory, and my heart was pounding and sweaty, and I'm all sweaty. We did it, and that's a testament to his ability because I was not helpful. Anyway.
Well, he got me my Virago, and he got me my next lore book, which was the most important. That's why I'm very happy to hear this one is a guaranteed drop.
We have multiple people in our clan chat that have high-end bossing abilities, so definitely even if you don't want to join, feel free to guest, because we do have people here if you want to learn. If you are a learner who's looking for no judgment learning, our clan chat's pretty decent for that.
Yeah, I was going to say they're good people. They're they're not like those elite ones who just abuse you all the time. They're actually willing to teach you and understand that you are new, and they won't abuse you for taking mistakes or making mistakes.
Yes, indeed. They if they can put up with me, they can put up with anything. All right, so let's see here. Passion project. So again, this is going along with the Game Jam weekend coming up on the 17th of February, where we once had Game Blast. We are replacing it with a Game Jam this year, which will also include a double XP weekend.
Why did they replace Game Blast with this one?
I don't think it was necessarily replaced, but I think that it was just put in place of, because I don't think that they were affiliated with them this year. They may have gone to a different developer or whatnot.
Okay.
You know what? We could look into that. I mean, it would be interesting to look into that. Like, if you go to Game Blast's website, I'm sure Game Blast has been around way before JagX. Yeah, maybe you can find out who is hosting it this year. Be curious to know. Let's
just want to also say, February 17th is actually the weekend straight after Valentine's Day for all you people out there. So do be careful when you're planning that.
Yeah.
Make sure you take your misses out the week before Valentine's Day, not the week after, so you don't miss out on double XP.
And it's also the week after. It's also the week after my birthday, so keep that in mind as well. Anyway,
I want Valentine's Day to be on the 29th of February.
So I've decided if anyone wants to gift me an in-game item for my birthday, I've asked for party hats in the past, yet to receive the party hat, by the way. That being said, if anyone wants to give me an in-game item this year, the one thing I really want is the rainbow cape. So if you have an extra rainbow cape lying around and you want to give it to me on my birthday or for my birthday, hit me up. I want a rainbow cape. Anyway, let's see here. So,
hey, did you end up getting the rainbow token for the necklace?
I don't know if anyone actually gave that to me.
No, because I was going to give it to you, and then I hadn't seen you for ages. I still actually got it sitting in my bank.
Yeah, I think you still have it, because I don't think you gave it to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to give it to me, you can. You don't have to. DX wants it too, apparently. Anyway, let me see here. Where the hell was I? So, yes, they're going to take from player suggestions and work on passion projects. They won't be completed until months later, though. They're just going to start them, and then they'll polish them up if they, are coming out nice or whatnot. So, Ramen's progress, slideshow of Next Angel of Death is listed there for some reason. I don't know why, but so update information will include the smaller the update and the more players it affects, the more likely it will be selected. Top end of small updates like Rune and Adamant Dragons, so that's like what you might see. That's pushing it as far as like the ability to create something like that in a weekend. But Rune and Adamant Dragons are a decent example of small updates on the larger end of small, if you will, if that makes any sense. Filling in what's already there and what you enjoy playing. Surprise updates add a wow element, but teasing updates allows us to gather player feedback. Exactly. They both have value. I don't know. That always struck me as like, I agree that having some surprise is fantastic, but too much surprise also leads to content nobody wants. So they got to be careful with that. Anyway, anything thus far, or shall I keep reading here? Keep reading? So Invention update.
Yep.
Farming and smithing will be the next two skills coming to Invention. There will be 5 new perks, including Clue Scroll. Obtain Clue Scrolls while skilling. Can be used on any skilling tool. Thanks a lot, considering there are no skilling tools for the skill that I'm training, so I guess I just am never going to get Clue Scrolls while skilling. Thank you, Jagex. That should have just been a passive thing added to the game. Shouldn't be Invention related, in my opinion. Disassembly. Automatically disassemble the resource you obtain as you gain it. That sounds OP as hell.
That's a great one. I like that one.
That sounds way OP. It's just in those words. But can you imagine? You need simple parts. You just hit up a tree and you start chopping logs. It is simple parts galore. Easy.
Yep, that's what I was exactly thinking. I am just going to be camping the trees.
Yeah. Pyromaniac, chance to throw.
The bear is going to come after both of you guys.
Chance to throw your entire backpack. Speaking of Smokey the Bear, chance to throw your entire backpack of logs into a bonfire at once. So yeah, Smokey's really not going to like us. Can we suggest bringing back Rune? I agree. I said we shouldn't just bring back Rune Labs. We should literally make Rune Laboratories where we just hire players literally to work for Jagex, give them no training whatsoever, and just put them in a room with lab coats that we bought at some costume store.
No.
See what they get.
Give them Mod Luna's. We give them Mod Luna's lab coat.
That doesn't make any sense. There's gonna be like 50 people. That's one lab coat.
They're just instead of wearing it, they're gonna sniff the damn thing.
You're a fucking weirdo, man.
Oh. Thank you.
Anyway, silver other no invention update. You got me all frazzled here. God damn it. See, it's only a chance to disassemble. That's good to know. That's not how it's worded here by I'm Rubik, so that's good to know, Nick. Thank you. Just straight up 100% disassembly sounds like ridiculous. If it's like a 5% chance, that's fine. Let's see here.
However, I should receive the one that there should be one in the game that does allow 100%, and that's the one that should be given to me just to make sure it all works properly.
When you're at 120 or 150, everything should just be broken down immediately. If you're 150, the game knows what you're going to do with your items anyway at that point. Let's see here. So, what do we got for invention updates? So we got those, and that's pretty much it. Crystal tools will keep their effect when augmented. Okay. What's the effect?
There are still some. If you use some of the crystal. What do you call it? I think there's
Crystal
a crystal
tools.
siphoning.
Oh, that's
crystal
right,
siphoning
crystal
thing.
tool. I'm sorry, I was thinking specifically of like the crystal pickaxe and whatnot. But, oh yes, there are some crystal tools like the chisel and that. Yes,
Yeah,
that have
yes.
special passives. You're right. Sorry,
Needle.
my
Did
bad.
you get? Isn't there a crystal needle as well?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to think.
I don't
I've gotta have
think
a look at that because
I don't think there's a
lot of
crystal
them.
needle but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't remember. I've only really have experience with the two that matter. So bear with me.
Yes.
So other silver jewelry was okay and improved since it was worked with old school. Okay. Goo monster idea and building up on the story of the race of jelly creatures was denied. I didn't know this was a thing that we were trying to perpetuate, but all right.
I was
Sorry about
laughing
that.
when I heard that.
What is that? I gotta watch the live stream. Like, well, what context is that even in?
I don't know. I don't know what context it was in, but goo monster.
Goo
Oh
monster.
my god.
I got nothing to say about that. Tab projects. So Mod Osborne is making a quest. Mod Ramen
Thank
wants
goodness.
to do raids 2 or floor 61 and/or I don't know what he means by slash. So and/or I guess.
And yes.
Mod Ryan wants to work on more invention updates and/or batch 2. Yeah, you should. I would love to see a single mod just do the entire batch 2 of invention. Just Mod Ryan will just become God Ryan. Holy shit. Anyway, that's all I got.
The main question regarding the tab projects was, what would you want to do? What would you want to do, right? If time was not a factor. I mean, to me, that felt like an opening towards you. Just answers, just say damn
right?
Spaghetti code.
I'd like to make RuneScape 5. It's like if time isn't if I could have infinite time, I want to make RuneScape in virtual reality. No, not the headset you put on your head. No, literal virtual reality. Just give me infinite time, I'll figure it out.
Yes.
Goo monsters like jellies but in different shapes. I mean, that's fine, but why? Why is there this obsession with jellies recently? I don't understand.
Goo monster doesn't. I wouldn't associate with jelly myself. But going back to the gutter personally.
Oh my.
Yeah, I don't think RuneScape needs a dungeon of goo monsters. I'm just,
no.
This used to be a child-friendly game. Okay, I got nothing. I got nothing else for this TLDW. I'll be honest with you, it's fairly light and mostly combat related, so it has very little has it piqued my interest, unfortunately. But we'll be there on Monday at some point in time to try next at the very least. And I am very much looking forward to Game Blast. Oh, excuse me, Game Jam. Oops.
Game Jam. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am looking forward to Game Jam. But I'm curious to know how this goes, of course, because this is their first time doing something like that, and it reeks of Rune Labs. Ish. Like, it is this whole power to the passion projects. We're gonna just do it, whatever people want. And that just doesn't have a good history. Jagex doesn't have a good history with that, so I'll be curious to know how well or not well, for lack of a better word there, how good or bad it goes, I guess.
That reminds me, Major, we're talking about the Game Jam. I did send you a private message the other day regarding on one of the suggestions, which I thought was pretty damn funny. It's in your private chat just now, just there if you want to read that.
Let me see here. Let me pull this up. Is this the Reddit comment that you have here, or the one below it? Is it the? Let me see here. You have two things posted here. You have one called "Get Your Ideas in Game." Game Jam is coming, and then you have another one where you just the image.
The picture, the image. You can read that out.
Am I gonna regret reading this?
Yeah, but it's funny. It's funny the way that he's actually posted it.
All right, I'm going on a limb here because I haven't read this, and we're gonna trust the DX has found something here. So this is called Wheaton. This is by Wheaton's 011 here, with -1 point for this on Reddit. Who says, "Wow, I typed out a great idea and some idiot deleted it. F this thread. F the mod who deleted my post because you're a pussy." You're a effing idiot and can't tell the difference between a good idea and all other... This sounds like freaking the official... If people could say this on the official forums, these are the threads they get hidden on the official forums. All the other posts are complete shit. By the way, epic idea, Bounty Hunter needs a revamp. The main part of the update would be an upgrade to add a tier 87 amulet for the 3 sets of Ancient Warrior equipment. There is already an Amulet of the Forsaken for the Barrow sets. It would be like that, but a higher tier for higher level players. Amulet of the Attune, Superior Zuriel, stacks 10% crit for the next 20 seconds, and ends with a final beam that has a special attack and deals 140 to 150% damage. Amulet of the Enraged, Superior Statius and Vestas, increased accuracy by 20%, and the Amulet of the Archaic, Superior Morrigan's. I like how he comes in here, and it's just, the first half of his ID is just insult, and swears.
Yeah, and then he posts his suggestion.
Yeah, and then he posts his suggestion. Like, anyone is gonna read past the first part there to get to his idea. Oh my god, that's
why I liked it.
That's people. Our next post here is something that is currently being copied over into the live game for the next game update, I assume, by Mod Stu here. It's a tap project that he's been working on here. It says, Sensei Hakase on Twilight can now give you a full list of your remaining requirements to complete the arc, to achieve the Salty title. The contract board behind Sajobo on Waiko previously skipped contracts that could only be completed on permanent islands. This has been adapted to also block contracts for low-tier resources found on authored islands, such as non-golden bamboo, sea salt berries, and non-ornate turtles. These are just things that he's fixing for the arc coming in the next game update, if you haven't caught on to that by yet. After achieving the Voyager title, Uncharted Isle treasure chests are now marked on the minimap with an icon. Opening treasure chests on Uncharted Isles now consistently use the correct open model for their type. The population of Whales Maw has increased. Buy options of 25 to 50 have been added to the Waiko reward shop for Arc Teletablets, Contract Tablets, and Banky the Crablet. The teleport to Port Sarum on the Arc Journal no longer uses a teletab animation since it doesn't consume a teletab. Breaking a teletab animation is also no longer used for short-range teleports where the item remains intact. I always assumed I was just smashing my book on the ground, so that's good. Lookout Ekahai on Waiko previously had nothing to say about the area after completing Final Destination. This has been fixed. And Bosun Higgs' dialogue before and after the malevolent entity's demise was reversed. This has also been fixed. So there you go. More stuff coming, I believe. I wonder if... So that's, I think, Pern, maybe what he was referring to coming next week. So are you still just as disappointed? Because I am.
Yeah, I mean...
Some of those are kind of cool. But
yeah, but it's really nothing that's... I mean, by 25...
It doesn't add any substance to the game.
Exactly. It's not adding any new uses for it.
Yeah.
And that's what I want.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Arc area, but I want uses to go back there.
I agree. And again, those are great quality of life improvements for the Arc, but they do not add any substance to the Arc for future generations, if you will. Anyway, let's continue on here. We have a post by Mod JD, who says, "Have your say on RuneScape." He says, "Good afternoon, Scapers. How'd you like to have your thoughts on RuneScape heard? Read on. We will be running some focus groups discussions so that we can gather your feedback about the game and understand what else is going on in your gaming lives. Bringing gamers like yourselves together will aim to discuss RuneScape and its key strengths and weaknesses. A market research agency we are working with, 2CV, will run the sessions for us and speak to you. The sessions will take place in central London and New York in February. The exact time and date is still to be confirmed, but we'd like you to register your interest so that researchers can speak to you and make sure that you'd fit the profile of different gamers that we're looking for. We can't take everyone, and we operate on a first-come, first-served basis, so we recommend that you express your interest early. The agency will be giving you a cash incentive as a thank you for your time. Unfortunately, we can't reimburse travel expenses, so you will need to be able to travel to London or New York to take part in the research. In order to take part, please fill out the required form, which you can get from this document here, and again, if you need a link to that, that's in the show notes for you. You will need a Google account to do so. Don't worry, nobody will see this information other than us in 2CV, and it will only be used for the purposes of this focus group. The agency will give us a call to go through a few questions with you to allocate you to the right group and check that you can make the time. Please note that you must be able to attend the sessions in person in order to participate. We will not be able to accept people calling in and participating via video conference. If you have any questions about this project, please contact community@jagex.com. there you go. So
screw you Aussies, you can't ring it in.
pretty much, basically, most of the world. Screw you.
Mage.
I can't afford
You
travel.
go to New York to take part in this, mate.
Sure, if people want to send me hundreds of dollars to travel to New York, then I will absolutely do it. But you know,
How far, just out of curiosity, because I don't know my geography in the United States that well. How far away is actually Boston from New York?
directly Boston to New York's probably like 5-6 hours, I would guess, by car.
Jesus.
By train,
Okay.
it's probably about 2 or 3. What's up?
I was just going to say, I do love how DX says I don't know my geography in America too much.
Ugh, I don't
That,
want to
no.
that
know.
didn't mean
That's
anything.
the rest
That
of the
did
world.
That didn't not mean anything. I was not taking a shot. I just
No,
literally did
no,
not
I'm just saying that just America. I would have said virtually the entire world.
I would love
know.
to go to New York. It would be expensive to stay in a hotel and do, it would probably probably cost me $150 for the ticket. Then depending on how long, so let's say it's a weekend, 3-4 days, that's $50 a night in a hotel plus food. In total you're looking at like a $500-$600 trip, which as far as a vacation goes, and this wouldn't really be a vacation, but as far as that goes, that's not a whole heck of a lot of money. But for someone like myself, unfortunately, when I consider, $5 can be a lot of money sometimes for me. So, unfortunately, because you're right, New York is not far from me. But, if this was in California, I'd be spending thousands to do it. It's hundreds for New York, but still, hundreds is still a lot. If it was in Boston, hands down, I'd be there.
If they had like the thing in Sydney or Melbourne, man, Pern and I would probably go to it.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I would do anything to attend one of these panels except spend money, apparently. But almost anything, I think, would be the better terminology there. Anyway, so if you want to take part in this, feel free to. If you are selected to take part in this and a listener of RuneScape Weekly, please let me know, because I would love to get an exit interview after you've had a chance to do it. So let me know.
If you're allowed.
Yeah, if you sign an NDA, please don't break your NDA. But if you haven't signed an NDA, please come and tell us all. So there you go. That's that. We are closing in on the end of the show here. We have a few more topics to go here. 2 topics and a video, basically. So we've got another half an hour to an hour left in the show, I suppose, here. So let's continue on. I only say half an hour because I know that Pern's patch note video was like 20 minutes long. I can guarantee at least a half an hour with that. But I'm just thinking. So let's see here. This next post is by Sono Shinodo. And it is, why is Menaphos not going to be quest locked? Do you like that? Why is Menaphos not going to be quest locked? So this is a genuine concern of mine. And mine. So I agree with that. Along with many others, probably. Menaphos is supposed to be quarantined in the quest series. So you'd think we should just solve that mystery before being granted entrance into the city. Since it wasn't destroyed like Prifdidus was, players would be able to gaze longingly from the other side of the city walls. The only valid argument I can imagine for free access to this mid-level city is that we are in the 6th age and the mystery was solved in the 5th age. However, the same argument can be made for Prifdidus. It was restored during the 5th age quest, so everyone should have free access to it now that we're in the 6th age. Yeah, I mean, with logic, exactly. So I agree that this should not be locked. I mean, this should be locked. I'm sorry. That makes no sense. How many players would be outraged by giving free access to one of the most prestigious cities? Menaphos is no different. It'll be a higher level skilling hub, which should be prestigious and offered as a reward from one of the most oldest and longest quest lines. Is there anyone out there that can offer some insight to Jagix's decision on the not locking Menaphos behind a quest? All question, comments, and concerns discussion is more than welcome as well. He edits the post and says, just to clarify, we don't need a huge challenging Grandmaster quest, just another installment in the Desert series that actually puts us in the city since it's been blocked off thus far. Before we read the comments here, I have to say that I agree. And I felt kind of ripped off not having a lead-up quest into the city. Anyone else feel differently or the same? No discussing that.
I agree with you, mate. Wasn't Soppenham locked behind a quest, and the Soppenham Bank, wasn't that locked by another quest?
Yeah, indeed.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't see why they are not locking it. I agree. It should. I agree it should be locked. I actually agree it should be. Well, I don't agree with him. I don't agree with Shindao's saying it shouldn't be locked by a Grandmaster quest. I reckon it should be, because we need to solve that story regarding menopause. We can't just have it open up just
Did you
like
say
that for
menopause?
no freaking reason.
He said menopause.
No,
You said no. You said I said exactly. I thought, did I hear that? And then when H as well, I thought, yes, I did hear that. That's exactly what I heard, and then I thought, did I? I wasn't going to call him out, but when Mage said, I thought, yes, I did. I'm calling it out. You call out my funny fish names on the arc. I'm going to call out when you call those things.
I think it should. I agree with Sarah. Yes. Go ahead, DX. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
But don't you agree it should be locked behind
Yes,
the Grandmaster quest so everything gets opened up?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Grandmaster quest makes the most sense to me. No quest at all makes the least sense to me. Let's compromise. So let's see. What does Jagex have to say about this? Morytania does chime in here. Did you want to get in? Did you want to get your thoughts in, Pern?
Yeah, no, I did fully. I mean, 110% should be behind a quest.
Okay. Just want to make sure. You said, however. I want to make sure I wasn't cutting you off there.
No, I was going to say, however, Jagex Rowley does answer this.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. So let's see. We have. He says here, I can offer some insight. We haven't decided that, nor, to my recollection, have we said as such. The only thing I've heard being said on a live stream is that it would be quest locked. But in reality, that much had not been decided at any point in time. It's only been in the last week that we have agreed on a plan, and even that could change between now and release. Regardless of what we end up doing, which you're unlikely to find out about it just until before or after release, it will make narrative sense. Also, small distinction. It's Sophonim that's under quarantine, but they reopened their own gates during the quest series. Metaphos has simply closed its gates to all. But as far as I know, why it has done that is not noted anywhere in-game. So you know what they really could do, if that's the case? They just lore slapped us here. If that's the case, what they really could do in this scenario is similar to what they've done with the Heart and updates like that, River of Blood and whatnot, is have a lead up where it's like we convince Sophonim to open it. Metaphos to open its gates via some like 2-week or 3-week long mini world event, like we've done.
I'd be happy enough with that.
Yeah, I'd be fine enough with that. And then there's some cosmetics and whatnot, and fuck it, they'll slap a treasure hunter shit on it because they can, and that's just life. Go ahead.
Where he says, as far as he knows, is it's not noted why they close their gates to all. Well, they close the gates to all because of Sophonim being under under quarantine because of what had happened there, and they didn't want it spreading, so they just locked the whole city down to everyone.
Exactly. So and Metaphos on the flip side was just like, we're an exclusive club. We don't need your people. We don't want your people. This is starting to sound racist. I apologize. Yeah. It's a little xenophobic, perhaps. But hey, that is exactly why we need to fix Metaphos. But we got to get in there first, and we got to change their hearts about the rest of Gielinor, and we can do that in a 3-week-long world event. All you need is
menopause time.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Krondys was going through menopause and Metaphos, and that's why she's been gone corrupted from a Maskid. They're on the same cycle. All right, I'm done.
What about
I apologize
here in YouTube? By the way,
I deeply apologize for my transgressions, but in all seriousness, I honestly can't wait for the series, and everything is going to be, from what I've seen so far, beautifully desert themed, at least. And if they don't lock up behind a quest, it's not the end of the world, but they should have some sort of event leading up to it in order to build hype and maybe familiarize people with what this desert if you can get into Metaphos but you can't get into Sophonim, that just seems like kind of ass backwards, no? I don't know. That still bothers me a little bit. Like, I'm trying my hardest to rationalize it here. I don't know if you could hear me trying to talk it through, but if you can get into Metaphos but not into Sophonim, that just seems real effing weird to me. So I'm sorry, but I can't wrap my mind around that one. There needs to be some parody there. I don't know what else to say. Well, I'm gonna have to wait, and I'll make fun of them later.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's it. And by Mod Rally's post there, it's basically saying, well, hang on a sec, we did sort of say there probably would be a quest. We haven't decided on anything yet. And there's been nowhere where they've said that it's not going to be a quest lock. So
the stupid little useless village of Shiloh's behind a quest. Yeah, exactly. Like Shiloh, which nobody uses, is got the lost, or it's got some lost tribe or something. I forget what it's locked behind.
Tayabo, is it called the Tayabo?
Taiwan.
Yeah, and then we have this grand city that has just walk right in. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little put off by that, but we'll live. And of course, I mean, it's things like those with RuneScape and its crappy logic and whatnot, where it's saying, oh, we're gonna put Menaphos free to all, Prifddinas locked behind a Grand Master, Shiloh Village locked behind Master Quest. Screw it. There's no freaking standard across the board. So we come to our next post here by Sin in Heaven, who asks the age-old question: is RuneScape slowly dying? God damn it. So we're doing it again. We are here. And, I mean this in the most professional and respectful way, but it would be so cool if there was, like, a group of, like, older women who played games, and their, like, gaming group is called, like, Menu Pause. Like, that would be adorable. That would be so freaking adorable. I would love that so much. Anyway, I'm going to continue on here.
Magebit is getting his mother and all their friends
together. I got to talk to my mom. Maybe she wants to. I've tried to get her into RuneScape before. I don't think it's going to happen. Anyway, let me finish off here. Is RuneScape dying? Slowly, of course. No, this isn't just a regular is RuneScape is dying thread. This is an is RuneScape slowly dying. Of course. Aren't we all slowly dying? So, Sin in Heaven says here, I only just started playing again recently after quote-unquote reactivating my account after about 5 years. First thing I noticed is that there appears to be very few new players, or at least much fewer than there used to be. Instead, almost every player has a higher combat level than myself. I'm level 70, and often above level 100. And the numbers of players logged into different worlds in the lobby are much lower. It's sort of like new players aren't joining the game. Either that, or the level advancement has been accelerated by Jagex. Yep, no, all right, there you go. You've actually pretty much figured it out right there. End of post. Congratulations. Conspiracy theory over. You were right the first time. But he thinks it's the first because he's unable to make rational decisions. So let's continue on here. I can't be the only person who noticed this. What are other people's opinion of this? Is Jagex slowly abandoning this project? Definitely. Considering their other projects are the ones sinking. It's their only project making money. They're definitely abandoning it. Personally, I can't understand why they would, but no idea why they would. Maybe they increased the rates. No, it couldn't be any of these other things we're mentioning. RuneScape has Personally, I can't understand why they would, but obviously I'm not one of the development team. RuneScape has a graphics quality that probably is 5 to 10 years behind other mainstream games today. Now, I want to stop right there and point out the difference between a stylization and realism. This game is a stylized game. It's not going for realism, and if you're trying to equate RuneScape to Call of Duty, you're just a effing moron. I'm sorry. You should have your ability to post taken away from you because you're just going to get shit on by people like me. Go ahead.
Are you still playing on Java, or are you actually in an
still
where the graphics do so much better?
I honestly think it's still comparing apples to oranges because the RuneScape game engine, no matter what, if anything, it should be compared to a modern real-time strategy game or MOBA, like League of Legends or something like that, where it's an ISO top-down camera view with 3D models. That's a fair comparison. At least it's a more fair comparison than it is to be like, oh, AAA game, this doesn't look anything like Dishonored 2. Go screw yourself. The one's running the freaking Havoc physics engine with I don't actually know what engine it uses, but it's probably using, Unreal or something along those lines. It's going to be running some super powerful engine, where RuneScape, they've made their own engine. It's just a little, give them a break. You can't compare them. It's not fair. Anyway, with mainstream games today, RuneScape isn't a mainstream game. You're trying to compare apples and oranges here, but anyway. But it has a vast open world, lots of free stuff, and lots of things to do. Compare that to Evany, which is trash in comparison, yet reputed to be extremely addictive and quite successful. I don't think I've ever played Evany. But I will agree with the fact that since I've never played them, that I wanted to show you how this is, and I know this is because of my security settings on Windows, but hang on, I want to see if I can not crash XSplit. This is how their website comes up for me, and you'll see it on the stream in a few seconds, anyone watching via Discord, but holy crap, this is that's a good first impression of Evany, with all of my security on. And granted, I have the same security on RuneScape.com, and then none of that happens. So, yeah. I would say right off the bat, if seeing that website, I probably would not play Evany, which is trash in comparison. So anyway, Evany does. Obviously, they've played Evany. It's with a V, EVONY for any of you not watching live. By the way, if I'm having a hard time possibly pronouncing that V there, so Evany does, or at least used to, do large-scale advertising campaigns all over the internet. Some quite invasive. Yeah, probably a bad idea. Invasive advertising campaign. Probably going to get people to show up to your website and then realize that your product's crap and go away. Like half the time I get an invasive advertisement for a game, it's generally a garbage game. So most of the time, invasive advertising, a bad idea to start off with. So I'm not sure if he's trying to list that as a positive or negative. He just says differences. So I guess this is their difference strategy. So Evany uses invasive advertising, Jagex does not. I'll agree with that, but Jagex does advertise. They advertise plenty. I get advertisements for Jagex all the time in my browser. On the websites where I allow advertisements to live. Anyway, Evany has a daily reward system. If you log in, you see some talisman or whatever it's called, don't remember, which gives you one attempt at a lucky draw and a chance to win various items. Is this is this like some of those like secret advertisements built into like an article? NSF World, owned by EA Games, had a similar system. NSF World is not safe for I don't know. It sounds like NSFW to me. And I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't like its name. Where you'd have to complete a single daily challenge to stand or a chance of winning a reward. And each day you complete a challenge, the odds of winning a more prestigious prize are increased. If you skip a day, you'd break your streak and start fresh. That's a very common tactic to keep people logging in on a daily basis. So RuneScape also has that exact same system. This keeps players hooked, especially new players. And then he literally says RuneScape does neither of these at the moment. That's completely not true. That is literally not true. It does number 2. Yeah, free daily keys. You get your free daily keys.
Make sure you log in again.
That is their incentive. And you don't get the key if you don't log in, and one of those keys expires in 24 hours if not used that day. Like you can't build, there are some keys that you can't build up. So this person just doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. At all, which is that surprising for a RuneScape is dying post? I'm sorry. Anyway, let's see. I'll let them finish up here. RuneScape does neither of these things at the moment. I imagine that overhauling the graphics is too much to ask for, but the 2 suggestions above probably aren't. I am blown away by this, but let me continue on because he has a second post who says, and add a common strategy used by various industries, and why not gaming, is once their products stop being as appealing in developed countries, they market them in developing countries where standards and expectations are lower. RuneScape probably cannot compete with the newest and latest...
Is that like selling it to China? Or...
Yeah, could that be, yeah. Is that like releasing the game and building it for the Chinese market, possibly? You know what? I just want to yell at this person so badly right now. Oh,
if anyone knows him, get him on the show for us.
Wrong about so many things. They've used so many alternative facts that nothing here is correct. And this has 6 pages. This is 6 pages. I'm gonna read Ash
Did you say
yeah, go ahead.
Alternative facts? I wonder is this Donald Trump actually posting?
It seems like he's on board with the alt fact train. That's for sure. Let me see here. So Ashdep, who generally has fairly witty comments, which is why I'm picking him out of the crowd here, says, do me a favor, Op. Whenever I go train Slayer or other combat training that has a lot of competition, come with me and make the competition disappear with your doom and gloom speech, so that I can focus on training rather than anti-crashing or hopping worlds because there's too many people. thanks in advance. That's just like, exactly. Yeah, I think this person is literally having the opposite problem that we as maybe max players have, where we don't see enough noobs. This person just doesn't see enough people at all, because they're apparently wandering around clueless about where anyone is in the game or how to play RuneScape. That's what it seems more like. This person just doesn't know how to play RuneScape and doesn't know. Well, I've been wandering around the freaking Gamer's Grotto for the past 3 hours and no one's here. This game is dead. Like, no, you're just in the wrong place.
He's been waiting and stealing.
Yeah,
creation for someone to show up.
Yeah, exactly. He's sitting in Soul Wars for the past 8 hours on like the East Coast server, just like not even the Soul Wars world. That's how I picture this idiot. Anyway, this has been allowed to continue on, as it should be, because he's just a fool. But I don't know if he continues posting or not, but people sure go at this for 6 pages, which we're not going to read. So if you want a good read, this is a good read if you just enjoy having your mind blown by stupidity. So anyway, that is our last topic of the show. We have the Pyrns patch notes to close the show out with, but that's pretty much it. Do you want to hang around, play the Pyrns patch notes, and come back afterwards? Because I still have I still have some time. Or do you want to just end on Pyrns patch notes?
Got time? It's up to you guys. I'm easy.
Alrighty, let's play Pyrns patch notes, and then we'll come back. We'll see where we are as far as time goes. Right now it's 10 o'clock. It's going to come back. We'll have about 10 minutes left. So why don't we'll come back and we'll do a regular closing. So let's do that. Let me get this up on screen here. I would like to get this up on screen here, but again, XSplit, you know what? We're just going to play it, because XSplit, again, won't cooperate. So thanks again, XSplit. Really, know when to act up right as your subscription is ending. Real good idea. Start acting like shit when I have to pay for another year. Probably not going to pay for another year. All right, let's play this. Here we go.
G'day Scapers, it is Pyrnassius here, back again for your game updates and news for the 16th of January 2017. And again, they have brought us in another surprise one. This time we see something called Deathbeard's Demise, also Hades' Skull and Fenrir Return. But first up, let's check out this Deathbeard's Demise. How to start? You speak to Deathbeard south of the Lumbridge Crater, and he's just down here. Obviously, you'll see new shipwreck there. So talk to Captain Deathbeard. And basically, you hand in these phantom doubloons to him. Basically, Captain Deathbeard's all washed up on the south shore of the Lumbridge Swamp. He's clawed his way out of Davy Jones' locker and is determined to scrape together enough cash to rebuild his beloved ship. Until the 30th of January, you can help him out by collecting up to 1,000 phantom doubloons per day through skilling, killing, daily challenges and treasure trails. You'll also get a better drop weight, an extra 20% if you're training agility or thieving. As with the Fallen Nihil event, you can up the daily cap or buy more with rune coins at the booster shop, accessible via the seasonal event tab on the social interface. So you'll see it's got the little skull there. You can just open that up and there's just seasonal events. Basically, where the rewards from this are going to be Deathbeard's doublets, his breeches, a couple of mystery boxes are in there as well, these feet, hook. We have the entire Phantom outfit, and there is a cannon pet, and also obviously the hat is the very first one. Basically, it's in for almost 14 days. So nice and easy one there, and as you can see, there is Deathbeard down there. But let's continue on reading. Hand them into Deathbeard each day to unlock the different rewards that you can get. Deathbeard will stick around for 14 days after the event before he heads back to terrorise the Seven Seas, allowing you to unlock rewards or hand in any excess Phantom doubloons for mystery boxes. Iron Men will be able to participate in the event and unlock the outfit and pet, but won't be able to open mystery boxes or convert excess doubloons into mystery boxes post-event. Next up sees the return of Hades and Skull. The legendary Winter Wolves are back once again, and there's XP aplenty for RuneScape members who help drive them off. If you've never fought the Wolves before, speak to Veli or Vithar near Relica in the Fremennik province for the full story. Each wolf is a tough opponent, but you can team up with surrounding players, take them down. Everyone who contributes has a chance to receive their own rewards. Haiti is found in the wolves to the southeast of Relica and can drop the Haiti Paws, which are cosmetic grubs that yield bonus XP and regular XP in your choice of combat skills when clicked. He can also drop the cosmetic Cloak and Hood if you haven't earned those as yet, and he is just down around here as a general rule. Skull must be summoned by adding logs to the bonfire west of Relica. At the entrance there, once 120 logs are added to the fire, including all players on your current world, Skull will emerge. Take him down to earn bonus and normal XP again in agility and woodcutting, plus a cosmetic amulet. And again, just straight over here to the north, you can see people are adding logs already there, and once there are 120 in there, you can just check that. It'll tell you how many are in there. There's 21 logs to go. Cat's Wraith is here, so you'll put a bunch on there, and once he is there, you can kill him. And finally, Fenrir lurks south of Relica near the Golden Tree. Now, the best way to get to that one will be basically the Fairy Rings or the Slayer Helm. He is right near the divination area there. Fenrir lurks south there. Victory awards the Fenrir Fang, which when used grants XP and bonus XP in either Herblore or Summoning. You can also again earn a cosmetic chest and leg gear from him. And Era's gear, again, Eri is down right south of the apple tree there. She is not convinced that the world is going to end, but has misplaced her helmet and spear. Defeat Haiti or Skull or harvest enriched wisps at the colony southeast of Relica for a chance to get one of these items. Repeating these actions will get you duplicates. Remember that you will only get duplicates there. You will need to trade them with other players. So get 2 types of one item, helmet, spear, trade with another player, and then basically talk to Ear, and she will give you bonus XP in your choice of prayer or divination, plus cosmetic overrides of Ear's helm and spear if you don't already have them. Please note that IMM players will receive only normal XP from this event, not the bonus XP. In other news, the Name the Shadow Gorilla Pet competition has come out as well. There is a new shadow pet coming out, the gorilla leaping into the game soon, and we need your help to name him. In a similar vein to the Shadow Drake competition, we're giving away 51 of the new pets on our hunt for the perfect name. For more information, there is a forum thread there. It is also on Twitter. They're also running some focus groups in London and New York this February, and we'd love to see you there to give us your feedback on RuneScape, and there's again another link there for that. This week's live streams. As discussed on Friday's video change news post, we're looking to hold more things back and put more effort into making streams better viewing for you guys at home. As with the BTS videos, we won't be committing to a weekly Q&A stream. Instead, we'll produce the month ahead Q&A in conjunction with the BTS and provide streams for content we feel require more explanation or that we can show something really exciting for. 2017 is the year of surprises after all. This week, look out for the 22nd on Sunday at 8 PM game time, PVM with Mod League. Go and do a boss mass there. It will be Virago this week. So that is it for the game updates. Let's head over now to the patch notes. And as always, should you encounter a gameplay bug or graphical glitch in game, please report it. These are posted by Mod William. First up, graphical. The Clan Notice Board editing interface has been overhauled to modern standards, fixing some lingering bugs in the process, including making all of the scroll bars work. The combat targeting circle no longer appears when casting Bind, Snare or Entangle on Implings. The skin tone on the Wanderer west of the Agility Pyramid has been corrected. Players can now view the Give Thanks emote in the Worn Equipment section of the gear interface without their avatar stretching or distorting. Umi's chat head has been updated on the player-owned ports interface. Yakamaru's quicksand sinking animation is now cleared when exiting the area. An issue with the Desert Bandit chat head model has been fixed. The bank minimap icon has been removed from the Grand Tree on level 2 as the bank is on level 1. Model gaps have been fixed in the Shadow Hunter and Drake Demon's outfits. A Yanil hedge that was burrowing through the Watchtower brickwork has been trimmed. Expanded buttons will now correctly close themselves when interfaces are removed from display. The Felidor wall no longer has a gap in it. A duplicate ladder has been removed from the Draenor sewers. Bilrak's model seen during the relevant Fremennik saga has been updated. Marjarat in Dominion Tower have been graphically updated. The Marjarat models for Anakra and Akthanikos in Anakra's Lament have been updated to their new models from the Children of Mar. The Marjarat in Koshai's Trouble have been graphically updated. Stretching issues on the High Priest's face in Sophanum have been fixed. A missing chat head has been added to a dig site panner. Private Quick Chat now uses the correct text colour. A section of missing piping along the floor of Keldrum has been returned. An issue that was causing certain images not to appear in the Grand Exchange collection interface has been fixed. Skin tones of some residents of Sophanum have been adjusted. An issue that was causing some objects to appear invisible in the NXT client has been fixed. I did find one of those myself. Basically, the teleports for the Ark that I had just weren't showing up at all. You'd hover over and see the name, but couldn't actually see the product themselves. The Quest Start overlay on the world map has been fixed, and certain doors with the hinges on the wrong side in Catherby have been fixed as well. Onto skills, D&Ds and minigames. An engram's hint have been altered to refer to the Thing rather than the Beast. It is no longer possible to use the Memory Strand teleport option during combat. The bank chest in the Memorial to Guthix has been moved slightly northwest. Making memory shards products no longer drops them to the floor if the player's backpack becomes full. Engrams now have a teleport option to the Memorial to Guthix. Cooking Salago now correctly requires 91 cooking instead of 92. Players now have a chance to obtain the farming skilling pet brains from planting crystal tree seeds and harvesting the crystal blossoms. That is a great update. Brains is one of the ones I want, so getting it from the crystal blossoms now as well. Excellent. The additional experience gained from the Demonic Skull while Abyss runecrafting now counts towards the chance to receive Rue. Another great update, that one there, for all those. You take the risk down at the Abyss, so you should have that extra chance there. A typo in Quercy's chat formerly found in OTOT when inquiring about supply runs has been fixed. A quick chat option for lifetime crystal shapeshifter kills and prestige has been added. The Examine on the Livid Farm point enhancer has been updated to correctly list the produce points bonus as an additional 50%. The teleport to Lodestone button on the Mobilizing Armies minigames interface now correctly teleports to Uglog instead of Draenor. That would have been unfortunate. Bloodvelds are now all melee based and weak to fire spells. Smithing Dragonfire Shields now uses the production interface with its own drop-down selections at anvils. The White Tree Chute now has a left-click water option. The Invention Skill Guide now lists the correct components needed for the Auto Sanctifier, Electrified Box Traps, and the Bank Standers. Players can no longer disassemble and equip the same item. Players now need 90 Dungeoneering to be able to do the Gold Rush of Blood challenge. World hopping within the Deathmatch minigame will now clear any overload buffs gained. Players can now reach Bob Barter on Bounty Hunter Worlds for potion decanting services, and the Nightmare Gauntlet's naming and placement in the Defense Skill Guide has been fixed. Moving on to quest challenges and achievements. Players who have spoken to Philippe with 200 quest points may now return to his mother Henrietta and claim a Red Dragon Wolf Juvenile or a Black Dragon Wolf Juvenile with 400 quest points. This will be available as soon as 400 quest points become obtainable. Both may be used as an override. The colour of the surrounding map squares for Sliskay's Labyrinth has been adjusted to make it clear which is the accessible part of the labyrinth. Gertrude's Fishbowl in New Varrock is now easier to reclaim if it has previously been lost. Armadil has been capitalised in the Staff of Armadil object from the Temple of Ikov quest. A cutscene during Blood Run Deep will no longer show the Miscellanea approval rating interface. A graphical issue that occurred when trying to skip certain One Piercing Note cutscenes has been fixed. Some camera issues with cutscenes in The World Wakes has been fixed. Some of Karshai's dialogue has been changed to reference Lucian instead of Anakra, and post-quest Children of Ma dialogue has been given to Seren in the Tower of Voices. So for all you lorehounds, head up, have a chat to Seren, and get some post-quest dialogue there. Moving on to other fixes. Ripper Demon Claws, Camel Staves and Wyvern Crossburns can now be augmented. Finally, that might help improve the price on those as well. Healing Titans now scale the amount of health they give based on maximum life points, as Unicorn Stallions do. Additionally, both Unicorn Stallions and Healing Titans will no longer drain adrenaline. A right-click option has been added to Lumbridge's combat training dummies to switch damage modes between guaranteed maximum hit mode, minimum hit mode, or normal mode for player damage. Dummies will switch back to normal mode after 5 minutes. The Planted Feet perk now has the effect that the duration of Sunshine and Death's Witness is increased by 25%, but they no longer deal periodic damage to your target. This effect is not cancelled by switching weapons while Death's Witness or Sunshine are in effect, and Planted Feet no longer affects Berserk. That'll get a lot of those elite PVMers up in arms, I think. Anyway, moving on. Augmented Telos weapons now show their correct value in the Wealth Evaluator. Telos will now drag players into melee distance when casting tendrils if they're outside the max range of their equipped weapon. Adrenaline is no longer lost when transitioning to Phase 5 of Telos. Lady Naya is now able to combine any leftover of Seasons items players may have. This includes the Cloak of Seasons, Pet of Seasons, Crown of Seasons, and Outfit of Seasons. Players can no longer walk into another cart on Twilight. Harmonious Resonance will now correctly trigger when Crystallize is cast. A missing apostrophe on Janice's chat in the Imperium Citadel has been added. A Force Walk tile has been removed from the clan camp. Approaching Dilwyn from a certain angle no longer closes the dialogue box. The name of the Relican Fishmonger has been corrected to Fishmonger. Players can no longer repair the beacon climbing pegs in Berthop from within a nearby shop. All variants of Battle Row bottoms now consistently have magic stats. Ice warriors that were inconsistently weak to air, water or earth are now weak to fire. Overhead information of NPCs will no longer disappear if trying to attack with a ranged weapon with invalid ammunition. A camera will no longer continue to bounce if the player dies when using Meteor Strike. The Dazzling Clover necklace now consistently consumes charges. Shadow clones spawned from the Staff of Sliske's special attack will no longer get distracted if it's in range of an AoE ability. Player moderator private messages will now correctly respect the split private chat and private chat filter settings. Examining degraded gear from player imports now shows a correct high alchemy value. A spelling error on the NXT graphics setting tab has been fixed. Stanley Limelight at Soul Wars is now easy to speak to from the front, and nightmare creatures will now drop gloves substantially less frequently when not the subject of the player's current Slayer assignment. We had a few hotfixes last week. The right dial of the World Gate has been re-added. The inventory free space check when trying to buy soul gems, starboard diamonds or dungeoneering wildcards if the player has some in their backpack with a full inventory has been corrected. Force walk tiles have been removed north of Falador. A message has been added when Guthixian butterflies spawn. Player spawn Guthixian butterflies no longer appear to other players. Modified Diviner's Headwear will now recognise players that have completed the tutorial for the Memorial to Guthix and award Chronicle Fragments correctly. Dungeoneering wildcards no longer affect the use of the Desert Pantheon and Illumination auras when outside of Demonheim, and players with the virtual level 120 divination will now correctly receive 3,000 memory strands instead of 22, and that's when you speak to Orla at the Memorial of Guthix. Moving on to our ninja fixes. Players may now display the emote interface as text, hiding each emote icon. The Wilderness Abyssal demons have migrated through the Obelisk portal to south of the Graveyard of Shadows, a multi-combat zone. The Demonic Skull bonus effect can now also be activated by interacting with any of the activities it can give a bonus to. It must be equipped and in level 20 plus Wilderness. The Barrows kill counter overlay now shows when above ground in the Barrows area. Various objects' names that were cut short by old character limits, were missing proper nouns, capitalizations, or had other issues have been adjusted. Notable mentions to mahogany flat packs, dragonhide equipment, skill capes, and ancient warrior equipment. Clicking prayers while in the quick prayers selection window will no longer activate them. Players may now filter the music interface between unlocked, locked, and all music tracks. The ability to drag objects in the looting interface has been removed. It is not possible to reorder this inventory. Paying the zombie farmer in Herblore Habitat to protect plants via the right-click option now skips much more dialogue. Players may now receive Bernie from burning curly roots using superheat form. The loot setting interface now features a dungeoneering key loot beam toggle. A cooldown to the Soul Split Prayers audio has been added. Prawn crackers are now stackable. If they were previously in your backpack, they will be shown as individual item stacks. To fix this, bank them and re-withdraw them. The message for teleporting urns now uses commas in the XP displayed. Players may now toggle the Varrock Sewers warning message via the Doomsayer settings as long as they have entered it 6 times, as with the other warning messages. The rubium ore mining message has been added to the spam filter. It is now possible to use surge abilities in the following places: Fight Cave, Fight Kiln, Fight Cauldron, Sinkholes, Max Guild. There's a big one that all the, again, elite PVMers were jumping up and down about. Pest Control, Dominion Tower, Ascension Laboratories inside the Legio boss fight instances, Stealing Creations, Frost Dragon, the QBD Loot Chamber, Frenesque with the Nihils and Muspers, etc. Rush of Blood, Player-Owned Ports, Bork, Skeletal Horror, and at Araxo and Virago instances outside of the boss fights. And finally, we're getting close to the end, NXT engine updates. Audio not playing correctly on some types of NPCs has been fixed. Environment particles should no longer sharply cut into the terrain. Dragging item stacks inside the player inventory while large bank tabs are open will no longer cause dramatic FPS drops. The world gate now renders correctly on the world map. A rare audio-related crash has been fixed. Incorrect interpolation in certain cutscenes has been fixed. A bug with the shadow occlusion has been fixed. Certain particles that were being reflected on water despite being below the water surface have been fixed. Roofs are now removed properly with water on low, shadows on, and ambient occlusion on. An error with the shadows that stopped rendering certain animations has been fixed, and finally added a fixed screen support for Windows only. And that is your game updates and patch notes for the 16th of January 2017. It was a very long one this week. I encourage everyone, get out there if you haven't tried the Hadean Skull before. They are fun to do, and even if you've done it before, get out there, get that bonus XP. Remember to collect all your phantom doubloons, collect those and get those outfits unlocked. Until the next time, happy RuneScaping all, and I will see you next week.
Beautiful. I do like the outro music and the intro music now with the patch notes. It's very serene. Makes me feel.
That's the actual music that you get up
great.
on top of where Armadillo is.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Thinking of changing it to the Guthix. I might do a half year one. Do that for half a year and then go to Guthix.
It's good to switch it up every now and then. The only reason we have had our RuneScape Weekly music for so long, I've tried to change it a couple of times. People keep yelling at me to not change it. So, I'll change it. So that is your Pern's patch notes. Double dose of Pern's patch notes today. And pretty much
triple a Pern.
The end of the show. I want to remind everyone again, today's Magebox code is GMNE. GMNE. It's on, actually, that's a lie. Wow. It's wrong in the notes. It's DMER. Apparently for dumber Magebit for not writing it in both places. So there, DMER, as in dumber, as in me, Magebit. That's going to get you 1,000 Mage bucks. And, yeah. So, anything anyone wants to bring up before we wrap up this episode? Anything else anyone wants to talk about?
Shawnee's going to do some teasers this afternoon at 2100 game time.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
That's tuning in on Twitch.
I'm glad to know that patch note teasers aren't dead. even if the freaking Q&A on Tuesdays are dead. I hope we keep the patch notes at least. So good. Glad to hear that. So check out Shawnee. That's going to be in like, what, 11 hours, 6 hours or so? It's 15:19 right now, and you said 21? Is that what you said, 2100?
Yep, 21.
Okay, little like 5 hours, 40 minutes from now, if you're interested in that. That's cool. Looking forward to that. It's like 9 p.m.
I'll probably be asleep
his time.
at that
Yeah.
time.
I'll probably be playing GTA at that time, but that's okay. Anyway, anything else? Anything else they want to bring up, or are we good to go? Last call.
I'm good.
Like everyone's just like, all right then. On that note, we can call it a show. It's a good show. Appreciate everyone for coming out today, for sure. So, in the meantime, you can find us on social media. We have a Facebook page for you. Facebook.com/RSWeekly is our Facebook page. Got a Twitter for you as well, at RSWeekly on Twitter. And a Discord, discord.runeweek.com. Feel free to join us. Love having people there to chat. All hours of the day, we play all sorts of games, not just RuneScape. So discord.runeweek.com if you want to hang out with us after the show. You can also rate us and review us in iTunes or whatever podcast aggregator you use to obtain the show. Help us find new listeners that way. And, of course, like the video if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And all that fun stuff really does help us find new listeners and whatnot. So real appreciate the likes, the subscribes, the comments, all of that. Super appreciated. Thank you very much. If you want to join us in game, we have a clan chat for you. Clan chat kill, skill, N, chill. That's the letter N in there. Kill, skill, and chill, or clan.runeweek.com if you want to check out our Rune Clan rankings there. We have guests on, so feel free to pop in and say hi. You do not necessarily have to join the clan, but you can if you'd like as well. And, of course, if you want to help us out, monetarily speaking, we have a Patreon available for you, patreon.com/RuneScape. You can head over there and get past seasons of RuneScape Weekly. There is a buttload of past content, well over a year of content backing up for you there. So if you're looking to get access to some archives or whatnot, we have tons of elite shows that are available only to our Patreon subscribers, available there for as low as $3 a month. I think it goes up to $10 a month for everything, but there's affordable packages for everyone there, and it's going to get you a bunch of content that you have maybe never heard of before if you've never been a Patreon subscribers. So really do appreciate everyone who's helping us out on Patreon there, and we'll get to that in a moment. PayPal, of course, we have as well, paypal.me/RSW for a one-time PayPal tip. Really do appreciate those as well. And of course, we've got a shop available for you, shop.runeweek.com. You can use your Mage Bucks that I was just talking about earlier there to get past seasons of the show, commission live streams, commission videos for the channel, all usable with your Mage Bucks there. That's shop.runeweek.com. Start saving up your Mage Bucks now and unlock those cool features. We also have an upgrades page that we are looking to get help with, upgrades.runeweek.com. It's going to bring you to our Amazon wish list. That again is upgrades.runeweek.com. Everything there. We're looking to build a new studio in 2017 and we need your help, so check out the remaining things that we could use. We're going to go ahead and execute on what we have so far in March, so if you want to get in the things we need, we're running it through February, and we'll be building in March. So help us out with that if you'd like at upgrades.runeweek.com. Got lots of cool stuff on the table, but we need the hardware and whatnot to do it, so check that out. Also, a big special thanks to our top Patreon supporters, including Molly RX, Swagatorix, Alex W, Danny H, Kevin H, Odin, Olgunner, Hamster King, Sudwood, Godly Fury, and upgrade thank yous to Colton, Plague Doc, and Death Star. Thank you so much to our ongoing patrons and supporters in general for keeping us running. We wouldn't be able to do the show if it wasn't for our supporters, so thank you so much. And again, thank you to everyone who's helping us upgrade so far. Gonna have lots of stuff coming in March, so looking forward to that. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for this episode. Of course, we'll be back on Sunday or Monday, depending on when I can get a co-host for the Elite show this weekend. And otherwise that, we'll be back next week with more RuneScape Weekly. So looking forward to seeing you all back then. In the meantime, and as always, happy scaping. That feeling when you can't get the fucking menu to pop up to end the live stream and you realize XSplit actually controls your life right now. It's completely frozen again. Well, at least it waited until the end of the show.
That is
to fuck up again. this stream is eventually going to end. I'm just rapidly clicking on end output here, and eventually it's gonna have to respond or crash, right? Like, something's gotta happen here. I fucking hate XSplit. Let that be known on the record that I am so done with this program. As soon as my license is up, I am so done with this pile of fucking garbage. I know I'm still live, by the way. Hello, YouTube. I'm gonna crash the program because I've fucking had enough with this shit. They are never getting my money again. This is unacceptable.